Threatening bounce, there it is, and a good one too. On the way down, Goldstein hooks it down. Zeebel's getting a free kick, he was held. So the ball will come back to the centre. Repeating, roof left open today. A please explain letter has gone off already. Zeebel looking to do likewise. Drives it deep into attack. Brown almost spilt it. Well done, Gibson controls it nicely. Birchall, Giray kicks it out wide. O'Brien leads in the race, but the boundary line is too near. But on the call, deliberate, says the umpire.
Hold it.
So Thompson wins the free kick, drives it down towards the pocket. Unmarked Goldstein. Well, he should have done better there. Off his fingertips and out of bounds. The 4 umpires tonight: Nichols, Finlay, Ryan and Fleer.
That's a tough call. I reckon that was going towards Tim O'Brien there. And Goldstein would have loved to have taken that one and got a shot early for North Melbourne. He'll have a big influence tonight, you'd think.
Good pocket it would have been for him to the lefty. Wells in hard along with Gunston.
It's going to be a fascinating battle inside there too, with Swallow and Cunnington out of that side. Who picks up the slack there for North Melbourne? Of course, they don't have to contend with the superstar Paddy Dangerfield out there tonight.
No, but some real talent elsewhere, isn't it? So Lewis's kick banged straight back in. Well done, Gibson, against the flow. Burgoyne.
Frawley a bit sore there after that marking contest. On your point, Tim, it looks like they've shifted from the idea of not running a tag without Ben Jacobs in the team. They didn't do it last week against Paddy Dangerfield. It looks like Trent Dumont is going to do everything he can to get to Sam Mitchell and quell the Hawthorn champion.
O'Brien in trouble on the outer side, only as far as Wells. Wells, ample time, kicks towards the middle. Stratton in front, takes a strong mark against Thomas.
Frawley still in the hands of the trainers there, struggling to get back up on his feet.
And that is the way to make a point, isn't it? Hit hard in those packs, and now the ball runs out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
I think he got injured here by Gibson there, just coming over the... And that's exactly what they expect Gibson to do, to be that third man up, but they would prefer him to clean up Petrie than his own man.
Throw in just outside the 50 then. Segler back in the side, reaches over the top. Puopolo under pressure, good tackle, Zeebel. Now Wells again in space, lobs one down towards full forward from behind Wood, thumped away down there by O'Brien. Lewis did well, gave it to Birchall, out of there by Stratton, and Zeebel came strong on Mitchell, and Mitchell is slow to get up, and this has spilt over now.
Send him, Mitchell! Send him! Come with me!
And Mitchell's taken off with a footy. Play on's the call. Smith has got it.
On the burst too, gets inside 50, would like nothing better than to kick a goal, and he has. That's the reply, and now it's on again. A lot of denials this week, really, about round 5 last year.
Who's playing the unsociable football at the moment, Lingy?
Absolutely, don't believe a word about those denials. They have gone after them, North Melbourne. We'll have a look at the Jack Zeebel and Sam Mitchell incident again soon, but Hawthorn, to their credit, Mitchell and Isaac Smith got on with playing footy, didn't get involved in the push and shove. Here it is. Oh, very late.
The fact that he got up so quickly, though, shows that it's close to being too high. It's right on the boundary of being too high.
I think Jack Zeebel...
I reckon most of that went across his chest, Lingy.
He can be pretty thankful, though, Jack Zeebel, that Sam Mitchell is one tough player.
Hawthorn in the back!
That could have been a lot worse.
Hawthorn, Johnson, Segler.
So off the ball, a free kick. 4 umpires, as Den said earlier tonight. So Segler to Birchall, and then off that step wide. So
Push, Kangaroos.
McKenzie against
Unrealistic.
Smith, the goal scorer.
Frawley's still in the hands of the trainers down here, gents. Clutching his head, holding his ribs. It really did affect him, that knock.
Of course, nothing to do with what happened just after that, Sawley. So what an explosive start to this match.
Puopolo reaching up, takes the mark, goes to Birchall, sends it back to centre half back, the old firm. Gibson across the ground, Giray, the new breed, has a bounce, runs across the wing, looks inside the forward 50, high ball, Gunston at the back, didn't carry to him, Bruce deep in the pocket, and the ball runs out of bounds.
So this is the bump from Zeebel on Mitchell. So is he in trouble or not?
I think they'll take a close look at it. I think you still have something to answer, but Tim's point will be a key one. Did he get him mainly across the chest or on the chin? It was certainly late.
Rioli centering the ball. Siegler, good fly at the back. Gibson's quick kick away, keeps the ball in, gets it only to about 35 metres, and Lewis takes a good mark.
I'd like to see the other angle of that particular clash, just to see front on. This is the aftermath of that. That's after Smith actually kicked that goal. He went to Ferrito after that, so there's a little bit going on from both sides at the moment.
Lewis has been in terrific form the last 3 weeks. He's had 42, 29 and 35 in his last 3 matches. One of them coinciding with the 250, and that one just always slightly lazy to kick off the boot in terms of its pace, says Mitchell.
What about the brains, the footy brains of Sam Mitchell, though, when he was hit by Jack Siebel? Straight away got up, knew the fight was going on, sprinted down the ground with the 50, released the handball to Isaac Smith. He was straight away thinking, how can we kick a goal out of this? Really clever play.
As Ferrito got it from Del Shadow, short of the wing, reaching over the top. Petrie got hands to it. Wagner's hand pass bounces out of bounds. Always the way when you've got 4 umpires being trailed, you need 8. That's how it started.
Frawley's just come back on the ground here, so everything's okay. Hawthorn really need that extra tall defender in defence.
Brad Saul down there tonight. Gibson, well done there.
Holding the man, North Melbourne.
Daniel Wells is looking dangerous in the early part of this game too. He's already had 2 touches coming into this game, averaging 30 disposals his last 2 games, and Hawthorn are giving him plenty of space.
Gibson's kick a bit slack, and then Smith runs it out. Yeah, Timmy's last fortnight's been stellar, hasn't it?
Yep, as like the old Daniel Wells.
Yep. Well, he's had so many problems with injuries over the last couple of years. Played well in Hobart, and again in a losing effort last week. McAvoy front spot, Goldstein did really well, Dumont, and here he is, right on cue for Tim. So Wells kicks it to about 30 metres, and there's a free kick to Lindsay Thomas.
Holding his arm, Ben. You're holding his arm, mate.
Somebody was holding something, clearly.
Might have been from previously, but it certainly looks, it looks obvious, doesn't it?
Might have been there.
So he's 11-14 from set shots, and it's always a question mark with him, isn't it?
Yes.
Depends which year we're talking about. A couple of years there he couldn't kick one. A couple of years there he couldn't miss one.
Runs in, virtually over the numbers. And tugging this one way right towards the pocket. Dawes in that pack. McAvoy lends some muscle and slams it out of bounds against the behind post. So we'll have a boundary throw in.
Unfortunately, this year for Lindsay, it's looking a lot like a few years back.
Look at that ball drop, the way the ball actually hit his boot then.
Daw works in front. McAvoy with a judgment, though. Lewis, a little late in going there. Dumont held. Had the football, fair enough. Stewart digs it out of there, taken by Rioli. Goes short. Into the back. Ferrito had the right idea. He was going at the football, although he did know that Bruce was caught in between, or rather Stewart. And Stewart's getting a free kick.
It's a likely time, Stewart, I reckon. Seen him the last couple of weeks kick goals. Stood up to some pressure from Ferrito there and then gave some back. O'Brien, big flight, couldn't quite. Bruce was doing the first bit of roving. Gunston to Hartung. Hartung's kick just misses Howe the mark. But Stewart off the ground, clever enough. Bruce couldn't quite take it. Interesting, here's the ball. Oh, McAvoy.
Dangerous.
Oh.
Play on.
So the advantage, and Jack's away. Good kick to Petrie. Does he load it up? Goes to the goal square. Waiting. Lindsay, and he's got it.
Come back on your mark. That's it there. Time back on. Play on.
So he plays around Thomas and kicks the goal. It's all square. Well, Ziebel certainly doesn't shirk a task, does he? He knows he's going to have a target on his back for a little while tonight. McAvoy sort of picked him up and tried to dump him. They got the advantage, and then Ziebel was able to deliver. Thomas in a better angle for him, and also playing on helps him, I think, don't you?
Not having to think his way through it.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Play on.
I cannot have that as a free kick at all. There was nothing dangerous about that whatsoever. In fact, Ben McAvoy protected Jack Ziebell.
Looked that way.
The umpire anticipated what was going to happen and blew his whistle.
Yes. A bit like the WWE, a bit of consideration for the other guy.
Yeah, and you know what? I say well done to Ben McAvoy for not following through with what could have been a really dangerous one. That's not a free kick.
Umpires have got a tinderbox and they know it, haven't they? Difficult situation for them. Mitchell did well, won a hard ball, gave it to Lewis, down towards full forward, fisted away by Tarrant, close to the boundary line. Puopolo charges it on McMillan, and the ball spills out of bounds. That's a cruiserweight against a featherweight.
They don't always win the cruiserweights either, do they?
Not against him.
That's right. So Dorr in the ruck work. McMillan. Oh, gee, Gibson's kick. What happens here? Just a poor kick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Are you surprised? I mean, Tim and Cameron at the start of this match, I mean, did you think all week something like this would happen?
Yep. I thought North Melbourne would want to hunt Hawthorn somehow. Their mindset had to be that way.
So Ziebell again, belting. Brown kept his eyes on it, couldn't quite take it. Wood release it. Goldstein under pressure. Gang tackle. Burgoyne was the second of them. Wagner got a little touch in there. Gee, was that Ziebell again?
He's like a battering ram.
Easy. No
But they had to
freeze.
come here tonight and
Straight
make a statement.
No
It's all
freeze.
about
Get
them
up.
showing the football
Magic.
world
Easy.
that they can match it with the toughest, most professional side over the last couple. You see Jackie Ziebell just going hard and low again.
Goldstein, only as far as Burgoyne. This is Bruce. Sends it towards the 50. Gunston, oh, that's a good mark, strong hands. The North have got to sustain this. It's all very well to come out and huff and puff. 4 quarters, it's a marathon. Back to the middle, brilliantly done by Harvey. Stole it away. Burgoyne simply stood his ground. Burma appealing for more, but none on offer.
That's all about concentration too from Burma.
Yeah.
All about concentration.
7 apiece. Tarrant bounces one to McMillan. Looks down towards the wing. Nice kick too. Demont takes the mark at the interchange gates.
McMillan's run hard. Just the required distance. He's got a short one if he wants it. Decides not to. That's a terrible kick. And Stratton, one of the areas that has really been bad for North in the last couple of weeks is kicking efficiency. They were very good early in the year.
And you just don't want to give up easy ball to Hawthorn because they make you pay for it. Oh, that's a bad kick from Sidney Mitchell.
It's going to come off, though, unbelievably. Well tackled, well shut down.
So, quick kick from D'Alessandro, and again a turnover here. So, a couple of North's entries awful, and Mitch, a poor kick coming out. Geray, that's better.
There's O'Brien. Deep in defence at the moment, O'Brien. Drives it towards half forward. Got a man out there. Bounces, Sicily actually, over the head of Bruce. Bruce goes after it. He was tackled. Opportunity for Smith, claimed by Tarrant. Well played by Smith on the ground. Knocks it out to Shields. Shields sends it down towards full forward. Still a live football, this one. McMillan gets back and knocks it across the line.
Well, some real heat in this contest at the moment, Lingy.
Still some spot fires going on over the other side of the ground. North Melbourne making sure no matter what, they don't get intimidated by this powerful Hawthorn team.
It's going to be exhausted for Rito. He's been in about 6 fights already. We had Majak Dorr to help him there, and a good fly by Brown. He promised to do that a moment ago, didn't he? So the Hawks lead by a point.
And already it looks like that could be a strength of North Melbourne tonight, their aerial superiority.
Thompson, McAvoy just shooting the mark. Thompson carefully to Tarrant. But had their hands full, this defence, with this the foursome that you talked about, Dennis, with Tim prior to the match. They don't come any deeper or better than that in terms of a group.
And no rough head. Amazing, isn't it?
It is. So Thompson on the back foot and now belting it as far as he can.
Brown works in front, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Frawley seems to be okay. That will test him. He's penalised. Brown.
Let him up, Jack, get off him now.
Fifth tackle for the night. Hawthorn have had 14. They need to get their work rate up around the ball, Kangaroos. Try and lock it in those contested balls more often.
Terrific young player, Brown. Drives it around the outer side wing. Petrie launched himself with the help of the man in front, and maybe Gibson's free. Advantage is paid. The kick coming across towards Lewis was touched. Out of there, a high ball goes down towards full forward. Was it Wagner? It was Zeeble.
Your team's goal. Your team's goal.
Come on, boys. Let it go.
Okay.
True. Thank you. Come on, boys. Hey, call it.
What are you talking about? No, Scott. Yes, it was.
And still, the flame is burning.
He's had more fights than Jeff Fennick tonight. Fair dinkum.
Tim, this is a bit of 80s style start to this game. It's on for young and old everywhere. Maybe not quite so big as the 1980s.
So Whirls to Atley, he sort of almost tucks it under his arm. Del Santo, normally good with ball in hand. Beautiful kick. Thomas has been lively. That's Zeebel's first quarter. I mean, it is Selwood-like to me, Joel Selwood-like. Kicked that goal a moment ago.
He's enjoying probably his best, most consistent season of AFL football.
I can't think of a side that has come out here and attacked Hawthorn in this manner in recent times. It's really great to see from ground level.
We wondered who'd be the hunter or the hunter tonight in a way, didn't we? So can Thomas, he missed one from here earlier. He's kicked one. He's having a pretty fair season, to be truthful. He's kicked 9 in his last 4 weeks. Well, that's not good again. So the set shots are a problem. They're officially a problem in 2016.
Well, it's a terrible ball drop.
It is the earlier blue.
It's one of the earlier blues, and you see Jordan Lewis is never far from the activities.
North Melbourne lead it by 5. McAvoy releases Hill, runs to midfield. Puopolo inside the centre circles. Looks deeper to attack, a high ball. It's one-on-one stuff down there. Rioli camps in front of the pack, but it runs behind and goes out of bounds in the pocket.
Just looking at Lindsay Thomas' ball drop, though, it's a really high ball drop again, and the ball, by the time it actually makes contact with the foot, it's actually moved to the side. So one sprayed out to the left, one sprayed out to the right.
Jack Zeeble, acting captain tonight, has been inspirational so far in that pack. McAvoy goes after the football. A couple of North players get him. Wells got him first. Tarrant arrived on the scene. Meanwhile,
that's the one you can get away with.
Ball up at a dangerous spot. Wells, wonderful balance, in trouble, close to the line. There's Farron Ray out of the back pocket. Good to see him back and playing. Second game for North Melbourne. Wagner's got it out there. He's claimed and held up. We'll get a ball up.
Do you reckon Hodgie's sitting up in the radio box thinking, gee, I wish they'd pick me tonight?
Oh, he would love to be out there right now, Luke Hodge.
What about young Wagner? What a game to make your debut in.
Baptism of fire against a great team in a night like tonight. Ray's free kick.
It hasn't been a good time to make your debut against Hawthorn either since 2012. There's been 20, or Wagner is the 25th debutant to make their debut against Hawthorn. 23 of those have lost. Only Mark Blitzarves has had a win.
You got that in because of Geelong. There you go. So the numbers are not in favour of a North Melbourne victory, but they started pretty well here. Wood gets it back. Del Santo, clever. G. Whirls talked a lot about his contribution so far tonight. That is a brilliant kick.
McKenzie, normally a very good kick too, has the football in hand. Left centre wing, looks down towards half forward. Over the head of Wood. Really hanging on though. Wood was going to get a free kick. Brown plays on down towards Petrie, and Petrie juggles the mark. 25 metres out, almost directly in front.
And this is exactly what you said, Dennis. North Melbourne need to transfer all this energy, all the wrestles and all the little spot fires that are going on into quality footy, and they need to sustain it. And that's what they're managing to do at the moment. Wells has been good. Zeebel's been terrific. They can keep kicking goals. Just put the pressure back on Hawthorn, not just at the footy, but on the scoreboard as well.
So it falls to the veteran, Drew Petrie, to give his side an 11-point lead. And he does exactly that.
I really think, though, if you allow somebody with the ability of Daniel Wells, Lingy, to run around like he is at the moment, no one's putting any time into him whatsoever. He can really pick you apart. He's having important possessions in this first quarter.
He's got a lot of space at stoppages, hasn't he? And that's the sort of area where he can be damaging, win it in close, but also then burst away from the contest.
Set up, Rux. Okay, Jonathan, set up, mate.
It's impressive, isn't it? So he goes equal with Simpson and Shimmer tonight, with only Arch and Boomer in front of him. So by the end of this season, the two longest serving players will be in the same team. It's a big career. It's a very good goal, and North have got the edge. Goldstein doing the roving. Seabook still got the kick away. Lewis takes the mark. Spreads it wide, so one captain to another. They're both combative players, aren't they? Smith getting it from Birchall. Smith, the opening goal scorer tonight after a sensational incident involving Sam Mitchell, and the wherewithal of Mitchell was on full display. Goldstein getting back did really well. Bruce, who's been involved in a few fracas, not with his foot, I don't think. Oh, Gutston, brilliantly done. Doesn't quite get through and gone. And that's a great result for North.
Their pressure at that end of the ground has been terrific in the early part of the game. Those really look like they've done their homework on the Hawthorn forwards.
Those Hawthorn forwards love to try and break the tackle, don't they, and take the tackler on, but North Melbourne have stuck them beautifully.
Atley comes short. Two to choose from. This is Wells. It's been very good so far. Back to Atley, who moved up, runs on, kicks towards half forward. Door out of position, expecting a longer kick. Stratton, timely mark. Mitchell's got it now. Comes out wide. Missed by O'Brien. Will he keep it in? Well, yes. Comes back, feeds it towards Hill. Hill running out of space, sends it to half forward. Big pack at the drop. The judgment shown there by Tarrant. Couldn't hang on. Stealing away was Bruce. Sold Shields into trouble. McKenzie stole it away from him. Hand pass from Wells. Zeeble emerges with it. Sends it up towards the wing. It's a high one. Door. Fingertips to it. Mullet a chance at the back. Grabbed down there by Hill.
Holding.
It'll be a free kick for the left footer.
Hold there, Bradley. Hold there.
He was off Mullet, wasn't he? Now goes to the pocket. It's okay. It's a tight angle for Wood, but it's a pretty good result. He hasn't not kicked a goal in his 5 games this year. There's something about this young fellow, I reckon.
Works really hard. As he gets more confidence in his hands, I think he'll start taking a lot more marks in the game.
He's a good physical specimen too, and he is a good kick. Well, this is big, isn't it? That one, he sprayed it away. It's still in play, and a boundary throw.
I reckon Tim's read it really early for North Melbourne. Daniel Wells has got so much space out there and is having a real influence, up to 8 disposals, but they're important touches too. I reckon Hawthorn just got to get a little bit closer to him at stoppages.
And no Cunnington, no Swallow, and you feel like...
Hold on, we'll throw it in again.
You feel like Zeeble and Wells are making up for that tonight.
Right now they are. Zeeble's doing the inside stuff, and Wells is doing a little bit of both. He's up to 5 contested possessions already, Daniel Wells.
Goldstein flicks it down. DeMont, quick hands away. Zeeble, bit of a U-turn, pulls it back to a dangerous spot. Petrie over the top. Harvey, smothered there by Burgoyne, taken by Shields. High ball towards midfield. Going back with the run of it, Gibson does very well. He's marked on the line of the square about 65 metres out from goal. And North giving plenty to start this Friday night game. Comes across to McDonald. McDonald equidistant from goal. Rousing start to the game. Takes something off the kick. Door is the target. Runs free at the back. Gibson. Lost control of it. Incorrect disposal. North with a free kick about 20 metres out from goal on a sharp angle. Or is it? Is it going to? It's going to Wood. He was the tackler.
Yep.
Well done again. Again, we talk about it's okay being aggressive, having a few wrestles, but Sam Gibson, first of all, went back with the flight, took a terrific mark. Mason Wood followed it up with some great forward line pressure. That's what they've got to do. That's how you beat Hawthorn. Got to be sustained all night, though.
Nice angle, this one, but immediately offline. puts it through for a minor score.
And when you think about Hawthorn in this first quarter, they've only kicked the 1 goal, but they haven't really been able to set up too many meaningful opportunities to score either.
And North 3-2. I mean, they've got missed at least 3 others. I mean, there could be 6 goals at this stage. So Hawthorn done a favour. Brown's been important with those marks. Talked about that aerial supremacy. It's a deep kick to half-forward. Not sure about that. All the numbers were with Hawthorn. Wells released it brilliantly to Zeeble, to Mullet. Mullet bangs it hard and long, and getting back Gibson and Birchall and a point. Gee, Zeeble and Wells, I mean, we've talked about them a lot, but what they've done in this first quarter has been magnificent.
Well, you talk about statements. It just looks as though those two in particular have gritted their teeth and said enough's enough. We're going to be taken very seriously this year. We're going to knock off the reigning champs.
Birchall drives it in. Goldstein launches himself. Segler got hands to it. Burgoyne running out of space, and the ball goes across the boundary line. North by 13. Pole-setting start to this one. They did their own publicity, and they lived up to it. North Melbourne. This ball falls short again. Vermont was hit with a previous throw in. That time it was Lewis. Meantime, Wells sends it across the ground, and a good mark is taken by Mullet, who's a powerful kick. Thinks about the short pass.
Oh, he's doing some damage, Wells, isn't he? The last 15 minutes, they're plus 16 North Melbourne for contested possessions as well. So they're getting in the trenches.
Interesting, that one. They didn't decide, the umpires, to have it thrown in again. They did previously when the ball came in and struck Dumont on the back. Here's Mullet. He's thinking maybe he can do this trip. He'll kick from 55. A little bit further out as he kicks, but it's pretty long. Offline. Oh! Wagner just wandered in, took it. The Hawthorn players had stopped.
I believe the ball was crossed for behind. Can we just check? It's definitely crossed the line. Thank you.
Score review.
Well, this will be interesting.
Behind. Can we please confirm that it did cross the line?
It's gone behind the fat bit. I don't reckon it has.
That last...
You can't tell.
It's hard to tell from there.
There's a thin post in the distance.
Down low. Oh, is the whole ball over that?
So Wagner's the guy who arrived as Johnny on the spot.
I think you ought to say that's over the line.
Review complete. Confirm behind.
Whoa.
All clear.
Wow. All rather casual by Hawthorn.
I think, is it time at quarter time for Hawthorn to try and shut Daniel Wells down? Would you be thinking about maybe Liam Shields going to Daniel Wells?
Absolutely, Tim. Great call. Get Shields on him. Need to stop his influence.
Big pressure on Birchall and Hartung there. They got away with it. Well done by Atney. He's had a good first quarter. To Brown, off a step. And he misses. So North Melbourne have had a lot of chances here. They're 3-5. They've missed at least 3 others. Hodgie despairingly. He was close. We spoke to Chris Fagan prior to the match. I mean, Luke's had his hand up for a week or two, but they really feel like they can manage him better late in the season.
They're putting him through another pre-season before they get him ready to play again.
Hodgie would love that, I'm sure. Another pre-season. He'd rather be out there tonight.
So Lewis down the line. North built it back in.
Stratton. But OK. Sicily under pressure. Hoist it inside the centre square. Free kick is going to Tarrant against Puopolo. Four-man plays on. Drives it back in again. This pressure is mounting. Gibson goes up, drops the mark. Slaps it out of there. Howe falling to the ground. Sicily. Giray kicks close to the boundary. It's out on the full. So for the moment at least, Hawthorn look a little rattled.
Yeah, you can certainly say Hawthorn are on the ropes right now. North Melbourne, all the inside 50s, all the play, and even stars like Josh Gibson spilling marks. North Melbourne have done the job well. They've just got to capitalise.
Ray just tried to set it up. Lewis, a lot of the ball in the opening quarter.
One of the real difference coming into this game too, Hawthorn played a very soft game against Essendon last Friday night, whereas North Melbourne played a really hot Geelong side last week too.
Play on, play on, play on.
Ray to Tarrant. So North with a comfortable lead at quarter time, but you just wonder whether they've got enough out of this opening term for their domination. So Wagner's kick. First debutant North have played since Dumont in round 4 last year. There's been 108 blokes debut in the meantime. It's the longest stretch any club's ever had between debutants. So he's out there tonight. What a start. A big Friday night here. A lot of talk about round 5 last year when Hot G and also Jordan Lewis were reported and suspended. Michael Ferrito, fair dinkum, I reckon, has had 10 fights in the first quarter. It's still going here. We know Rioli can fight. So, Lingy, it's easy to be retrospective, but the feeling in the North Melbourne rooms when we were down there prior to the match was one of full of aggression, and that's what we've seen in this opening term. They've taken it to Hawthorn and some, and finally they might split up. Zeebel's been front and centre captain for the first time. The other captain's just got a steel rod down his back as well. Mitch was the recipient of the big bump, but he created the only goal for Hawthorn. Well, this team's been challenged a lot over the years. Here's another one. See how they go in the next 3 quarters. Can't wait. Talked about tonight, round 5 last year, when Hawthorn smashed North Melbourne by 10 goals. This was so early in the match. The captain, Zeeble, against Mitchell. The big blue started, Mitch took off, Smith kicked the opening goal, and there have been fracas left, right and centre. A lot of hard hits, some great football. Michael Ferrito's had 10 of the best rounds you've ever seen so far. Wells has cut them to pieces on the back of Zeeble, and they've got a 2.5 goal lead. It's a line in the sand game in more ways than one. The repercussions for a win and a loss for both teams enormous on this Friday night.
Outstanding first term too by Daniel Wells. 10 possessions. His career high is 34, but he does have a 33 against the Hawks. And North lead 85 possessions to 65, and by 15 points at quarter time on Friday Night Football. We started the second term. 4 umpires. We've needed every one of them tonight. Segler on the way down wins it. Zeeble appeared not to have the football. Lewis comes through, kicks inside the forward 50. He sprayed it right. Ferrito goes back after it. A lot of time for Ferrito. Tarrant, who's been very good, his 9th possession. Right to the numbers. Reaching up was Gibson. In his hip pocket is Howard's close to the boundary line. It runs out, and it will be thrown in. 23 plays 8 as we begin this second term.
North Melbourne did a great job in that first quarter of shutting down the amount of ball Hawthorn got. They only had the 65 possessions. They averaged 93 per quarter. So North Melbourne really controlled the footy, didn't let any of that fluent Hawthorn game get going at all.
Sully, you've listened to Alistair Clarkson over the years, premiership player. What would his message at quarter time been after that first quarter?
You'd imagine he would have expected the Kangaroos to come out firing like that, but Hawthorn were caught in the back foot. He'd expect the leads to really stand up, be assertive, potentially put some time into Wells. You've seen how influential he's been in that first quarter. At the end of the quarter, he went down the races in the hands of the trainers. We suspect he might be having some sore ribs, so keep an eye on that. Hopefully his form continues.
Segler knocks it down, taken by Zeeble, dragged down by Rioli, and that ball's not coming out.
Just on Sully's point there, they're not putting much time into him at stoppages. That's perhaps where he got those sore ribs that Sully's talking about, but still too much room at stoppages. Tim picked it out in about the first minute of this game. Wellesley with a heap of space around the contest.
Jamont's got a free kick, right half back.
Well, Cyril's responsible for him right now, Daniel Wells, and he's going to drag him right across the other side of the game, ground, Wells.
Tarrant squares it virtually. Ferrito in it up to his eyeballs tonight, drives it high towards the wing. In front, Ray clears the pack. Frawley is back. With him is Thomas with the dash. Hartung. Well done, Thomas. Ray, Wood, and now Wells inside the forward 50, over the head of Petrie, and runs out of bounds.
There's that free kick against Sam Mitchell there. Clearly a free kick. I was just watching Wells and Cyril then too, and Cyril just dropped off him completely, gave Wells enormous amount of space in the middle of the ground.
Harvey read it best. Wood, can he deliver here? He's missed a couple, and he's missed that. So Tim, who's the one Hawthorn player that you would go to Wells?
Oh, Shield would be the #1 player right now, yeah.
And I really don't like that matchup anymore of Rioli and Wells. I know we've been going on about it, but Tim's right. just allowing far too much separation. And when a player's having the sort of influence Wells is having already, they've got to change it up.
Giray got it from Mitchell. Big leap by O'Brien. Tarrant came strongly, well done. Hand passes for the boundary. This will be interesting. Oh, bit of compassion there. Chance for Wood moments ago. The last 5 scores in the game have been behinds for North Melbourne. And Wood came into his career kicking goals. 3 on debut is his career high.
A lot of points and misses tonight. He's been going to Wells again. Twisting, turning, that one not so effective. Tackle coming from Howe. Hawthorn got it from McAvoy. Mitchell, normally just so creative. It's a good kick to fall forward. Belted away by Tarrant. Attlee's quick. Bruce put some pressure on Gibson's handball just behind McMillan. Hawthorn in there, ball up.
5 done at the same time.
We've been repeating ourselves, but this is what we're talking about. Look at Daniel Wells there. No one near him at all. He's too good a player to have that sort of space at stoppages. He's cutting them up at the moment.
Third man up is Lewis. He knocks it straight across the boundary line. It'll be tossed in. 24 plays 8. Early going second term on a Friday night.
Quickly forget North have got 2 of their best inside midfielders out. Contested possessions of 50-27 in North's favour.
Wells charging through, but Birchall gets a kick away. Ferrito came strongly. Dumont camped in front. Kicks down towards half forward. Petrie got an obliging bounce, wheels around, turns the defence around. Gibson has a big battle here. Thomason from the side spilt the mark. Tackled by Burgoyne. Reaching in there is Wood. Trying to wrench it away as Gibson. Clever hand pass. Giray. Cool as you like. Segler. Howe. Well, interesting kick. Birchall played it pretty well. Won a contest. Smith. Lewis. Still Birchall comes. And he feeds it back. Timely. Howe takes every allotted second. He kicks it down towards half forward. O'Brien was up, knocked away by this man, McMillan, who got it back from Goldstein. Kicks it down towards half forward. Brown got both hands to it. And a big shock of hair couldn't hang on.
Gee, they're out of sync at the moment, Hawthorn. It's all about the pressure that North Melbourne are applying.
So you've got a little give there. And yet, Tim, I thought they'd played defensively brilliantly there from Gibson on, but North
they couldn't get past halfway.
North able to repel again. Still no big damage on that scoreboard.
High contact, North Melbourne. Thank you.
What
High
the freeze
contact.
falling against here? You feel like North are getting more at the moment. So Wells, 60 metres out, coming up for his 14th disposal.
You're right.
Kicks to fall forward, gets it deep. What is the count, Dennis?
17-3.
17-3. Free kicks in favour of North Melbourne.
But I could only say that is because North Melbourne are getting in there first.
Absolutely.
Just mentioned the contested ball count.
Hawthorn runs the outer side. Harvey trying to go with him. Harvey bringing up the rear was the benefactor. Slaps it away. Hawthorn comes after it. Hand pass comes across. Frawley had it momentarily. Slapped away by Harvey. And it will be thrown in. Well, an example of why you should chase. Good things happen sometimes.
Just get the feeling from ground level. Hawks are a bit rattled out here. They're on the back foot. North continuing to drive forward.
Door over the back. Zeebel's tackle's a good one.
You rarely say that about Hawthorn, but they are unsettled right now as a result of all that pressure, that real physical pressure that has been applied to their game right across the ground.
And Tim, when Brad Saul says that, you sort of pick your ears up a bit, don't you?
For sure.
Shields' quick kick. Gets it about 40 metres down the line. It was touched off the boot. Bruce clever. Read it well, runs his full measure. Kicks to fall forward. Puopolo, wonderful contest against the flow. Pressure on North here.
Hawthorn free kick. Hawthorn free kick. Hawthorn free kick to Hawthorn. Hawthorn free kick for an incident downfield.
So an incident down the
free
field.
Kick paid down that end of the field. Well, where the ball was at the time is here.
It's a disarming game, isn't it? Things happening off the ball. It's hard to know what to be watching.
I can only assume it was Taylor Giray and Boomer Harvey, because Giray ran with him to the boundary and had a fair bit to say to Boomer Harvey then.
You're spot on, Lingy, we've been told. Extra umpires well tonight. They're not going to miss anything. O'Brien. So this to get Hawthorn rolling. And he gets it. So the Hawks' 2 goals tonight have been interesting ones, haven't they? Remember the Mitchell one to Smith, and now this one.
That's really disappointing, though, for Brad Scott. Like, they've played so well, you know, and to have an undisciplined incident like that then cause a goal.
Just watch the top of your screen here. Brent Harvey pulls Taylor Dray down to the ground. Clear free kick, well umpired. But Brad Scott, you're right, Tim, would be filthy about that. Just give away a goal when North Melbourne have been doing all the attacking play.
And the margin just 11 points. Burgoyne, Smith, back inside. Howe, that's holding the football. He died for it, I fancy.
The ball, no reason. Let him up, let it up. Give it to him now. Must make an attempt.
I like the move of Burgoyne into the guts as well. I think they need that spark and what he can provide. He's a great running type player, but he's also very physical, Burgoyne.
Atley got it from Thomas. He's on the wing. So 3 goals to 2. For all that dominance. Timon on the outer side takes a clever mark. Out against the boundary line.
It's been good, Timon. Kicks to the pocket. Brown, huge fly, got it. Terrific mark. He's been a factor so far tonight.
We mentioned before about Hawthorn just looking a little bit rattled. Even just simple things like this. Ben McAvoy had to get a big fist on that. Instead, they let Brown come through and take the mark. North Melbourne, they have been sensational early on in this game, but they've got to get the rewards. 3 goals, 7 at the moment. They need to take every chance they possibly can.
So this is huge. This is a massive kick. You just wonder how much is going to come back to bite them. No, we don't. Who knows? But at the moment, you feel like they're going to pay for this, don't you?
Well, 11 shots. It's probably 13 shots to 4.
I reckon more. I reckon we're talking 15.
Oh, Corey!
I mean, it's a complete dominance, really.
Sicily's got the football out towards right half back.
Oh,
dangerous kick. Getting a hand to it there, McDonald. Jamont in the air. Did well down to Wells, who's been dominant. Across to Ray. This one inside the 50. Coming strongly, Frawley. Knocked it away. Crumb by Wood. Brown. Hard to bring down. He came rumbling through half forward, but standing his ground. It was a terrific tackle. And as a result, the free kick is taken across half back by Stewart. Little fella making his way and doing very well. There's Smith.
Well, Smith and Hill haven't been a factor at all, Dennis, in the early part of this game. I've only had 6 touches between those 2 running players.
Birchall taking that chance, spreading it to Mitchell. They've had real problems getting a pass half forward, haven't they? They're short. So Stewart getting it back from Birchall. Then Brown coming in a little late.
Holding North Melbourne.
So against Rioli on Thompson. Wouldn't that be a fascinating matchup with those 2?
I'm yet to see a genuine response from Hawthorn either to the intimidation that North Melbourne did to them in the first quarter. And I'm not talking about fighting, I'm not talking about cheap stuff. I'm talking about those big crushing tackles that we're used to seeing from Hawthorn. The fierce contact on the footy, maybe some great flowing play, the really brave football stuff. Haven't seen it yet. For me, it's all been North Melbourne. They're yet to capitalise, but certainly all North Melbourne so far.
So Ray to Thompson. Sawley, this is sort of made for a Hodgie, isn't it? I mean, how much do you reckon they're missing him right now in this moment?
Yeah, it really is. Not only is he so physical, but he's such a calming influence out there. He directs traffic. His leadership is so important in setting the boys up and just calming the heads.
There he is, the man. McAvoy took a strong mark. Wells, 16 possessions now. The dominant player on the ground, McAvoy, over the head of Ferrito, coming through O'Brien. It spilt to Thompson. He's immediately claimed and taken down.
The Hawks are just having trouble getting it into their half. Scotty Thompson's playing the spare defender and chopping off at every chance.
He's a good reader of the ball, but I think his job's been made easier too by the fact that they haven't been able to get any real flow in their play, Hawthorn.
So the inside 50s in this quarter, 5 apiece Hard to believe in a way. But Hawthorn with the only goal in this quarter, Poppy over the ball.
And just looking at Daniel Wells again, I know we've spoken a lot about him, but he's up to 16, but he's had 6 clearances and he's kicked the ball inside 50 on 6 occasions as well. So he's been a damaging player.
And I still couldn't tell you who's on him right now, Tim. At stoppages. Fantastic tackle there by Paul Puopolo, but Welsh was free again.
Man on the mark is about 45 metres out. Puopolo. Short, not 15. Gunston surrounded. Feeds it off. Cooley. Howe. Long down towards full forward. Working in front. Hill. Uncontested. Rioli. The sea's parted. Rioli kicks a goal.
Let it go. Let it go.
Dennis, you summed it up so well. He was like Moses. The seas did part. I mean, he saw some space. I mean, that was a brick wall, and he actually went through the brick wall without force in a way. He talked the brick wall into it.
I've been watching a bit of the NBA over the last week or so. Kyrie Irving's been doing a lot of that too.
I mean, it was an extraordinary bit of play. It's been a good week for the Rioli family. And Cyril there with some real magic. I mean, there was a brick wall in front of him, but he managed to get through.
And he just wanted it more than any other player in that contest. And that's the sort of response you expect from Hawthorn, that type of play.
Tim, just remind me, what's the score at the moment? 3-8 to 3-2.
There's a goal of difference, Bruce.
Thank you.
It's hard to get your head around, isn't it?
For all that domination, Hawthorn right back in it.
Mitchell to Giray. Corral, gone. Wow.
That is great concentration. Wood just kept looking at his hips.
Wood's been fantastic, Tim, except he hasn't kicked the goals. I mean, he's had 3 shots on goal. Dumont getting a lot of the ball in this first half. Zeeble. Big kick to full forward. Dora presence. Well done, Gibson and Frawley tag teaming and a boundary throw in.
That really was brilliant by Mason Wood. As you said, Bruce didn't overcommit. Nailed the tackle, holding the ball. And then his on-ballers were able to work forward and get on the end of it and get another inside 50.
Boundary throw in, Goldstein in front. Segler from behind. Giray in the congestion. Hurriedly gets it out. Bounced obligingly for Tarrant. McKenzie in trouble. Back to Tarrant. 60 metres out. Well done. Kept his head and found Del Santo. But by his lofty standards, has been pretty quiet so far tonight.
Hold it. Play on.
And his 6th possession coming up. This one across the face. Goldstein almost got hands to it. Wood's been dangerous down there. Slips a hand pass away. So to Thomas. A floating ball. And I think he's got it. He's got his 2nd. How about that magic at both ends? Moments ago, Rioli, and now Thomas.
That is just an unbelievable instinctive kick. The game plan of North Melbourne is really interesting, though. They're bypassing anything short, and they're going as long and as deep as they possibly can to their taller targets. And I think that's where they feel that Hawthorn are vulnerable, between 0 and, say, 20 metres out from goal.
There's no way he can kick a goal from here, is there? I mean, he just can't kick a goal from that.
Under that sort of pressure, from that angle, simply brilliant by Lindsay Thomas.
And set shots, well, forget about those. But North get that little margin again, which they've certainly deserved so far. Well played, Burgoyne to Mitchell, starting to build. Of course, involved in the big incident of the match at the start. Thompson, Rioli gets him down.
The ball, Hawthorn, illegal disposal.
That was brilliant, the way that he trapped him.
Let him get it. Let him get it.
Shows you how strong he is, too.
There were 2 parts to that tackle, though.
And now he's off. And now he... Well, I'm not going to call that because he's kicked it out on the full.
You won't lower yourself.
You don't do that with Cyril.
Wasn't Scotty Thompson a little nervous? He must have looked back over his shoulder about 4 times when Cyril was chasing. Touch ball. In front Wells. Smothered there Lewis on Wood. Wood goes back after it, taken high.
Kangaroos. That's the mark there, Liam.
Mason Wood's played well. Coming up for his 11th possession. Just lobs it to Zeeble. Well read by Stratton, arriving quickly. Snatches it away. just forward of the interchange gates. Looks deep, sends the ball inside the forward 50. Tarrant will fly from behind, in from the side. It almost stuck down there. It didn't, though. O'Brien picks himself up ruefully, and we get a ball up.
Gee, that must have been so close paid.
He had a great jump at the ball, didn't he? Not controlling it down.
Yep, right call. He's fearless, isn't he?
He's terrific in the air.
So Goldstein against a couple. Wells again, yet another clearance. Dorr hasn't really imposed himself so far. Stratton towards the line and a boundary throw in.
Tim spoke earlier about Sean Burgoyne coming into the middle. Just look at this. This is going straight to Dumont there, but Burgoyne smart enough to rove off Todd Goldstein and get a clearance for Hawthorn. That's what he provides to this Hawthorn team. Throw him in the middle, he'll win you the footy.
Goldstein, there he is again, Lingy on cue. Zeeble did well against Lewis, the two skippers tonight. Dumont. Wells again creating. Zeeble has to release, but he fended off very, very effectively. Harvey, little toe poke down the line, probably the handball better that time. Gibson, Birchall.
High! Just here.
He's hurt
Just
here,
here.
Gibson. He's in a bit of strife.
Just here. Wide! Just here. Just here. No, I think wasn't. It was high. Just here.
Ball.
It's abuse. Come with me. Got him in the head. Just here. Time back on.
That tests the coach, doesn't it?
I'd say, watching the replay, no doubt he connected with the head at some stage. He started on the shoulder. There goes the kick inside the forward 50. Ferrito flew from behind Bruce. Quick hand pass away as it turned out too quick. Puopolo runs the boundary, feeds it back inside. Sicily wants some room to kick. He finds the room, he finds the kick and puts it through for a goal. Well, the two sides to that man on the left in the space of a minute. Wonderful goal. And then just letting himself down, regardless of whether he was right or wrong. You can't give away 50 because it can end like it just did.
Sort of feel like you've got to be better than that, don't you, in that situation? It's a steep learning curve, but it's taking a while. It's a good finish, but really Thomas is...
It's been all North Melbourne. You give away a free kick and then a 50-metre for abuse. Leads to the Sicily goal. That is a big blow, and Sulu will be all over this, I'm sure. But Daniel Wells has just headed to the bench for a bit of treatment.
Just beat me to it there, Lingy. He's taking his shoes and socks off. Some sort of a lower leg injury by the looks of it. In the hands of the doctors at the moment.
He's had so many problems in that area in the past. Mitchell getting so involved here in clearances.
Downfield.
Flattened again.
Downfield, Hawthorn free kick. Hey, Jonathan, you've got the free kick, okay? It's downfield, yeah, that's why you've got the free kick. Hey, call it. Hey, Jack. Let it go, Jack. Call it. Come on, Jack Zeeble.
Go down to the goal square.
Jack Zeeble. Come on, get it.
Hey guys, do that all night. It's a downfield. It's play every single time. Go. Thank you. Good. Mark's here.
23 Brownlow votes, Mitchell against North Melbourne, more than any other club. It's like he's got a target on his back, isn't it?
The instruction was pretty clear from the umpire then, though, too.
Oh, yeah. So
everyone's on notice.
So Rioli has hardly missed a set shot all year. And can you believe it? Scores a level.
Lingy spoke about that challenge that hadn't come back from Hall. I reckon there's been a shift in their aggression in the last 5 or 10 minutes of this game.
And this will help them too if this bloke can't get
That's
back.
a big story right now, isn't it?
He's had massive lower leg problems over the last couple of years.
They're taping that, though, as though he's going back on the ground. I mean, that's not giving up on the night.
Well, somehow now North Melbourne, they've got to fix their aggression, their attack, back on the footy, back playing that good football. Couple of goals they've given away now. Jack Siebel, the man who led them early, he's got to get them refocused.
Smith came strongly, and a result is that Hawthorn win the football. Mitchell bounces obligingly for Rioli. Rioli's got a couple. Should kick his third right here. Takes way too long and hit the post. Run down by McKenzie, or was it McDonald who got him? Great chase by McDonald.
Well done by Luke McDonald. That is desperation in game number 50 for the youngster. What a chase. I didn't think he could chase down Cyril Rioli.
I think his inbuilt GPS was just showing him too many options as he went forward.
He was trying to get the one over the top, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he probably should have just kicked the goal. So that hamstring looks pretty tight. So Hawthorn lead.
Hawthorn! Hawthorn!
This is another off-the-ball incident.
You ran Lindsay's path and not... No, you're the greater advantage. That's what I saw. To Ben McAvoy. Give it to him. Back here, Lindsay. Right back here. You're on it. Drew's
So
on it.
I think it's against Bernard Harvey, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Josh Gibson. So
he's done for the night.
It's a shame.
McDonald.
oh, what a night out. Hard tongue.
Yours.
I know one thing, if you're Don King, the boxing promoter, and you were doing the AFL fixture next year, these two teams will be playing on a Friday night pretty early in the year, don't you reckon?
Every Friday night.
Long kick from Frawley towards the 50. Then from the side, knocked away by McKenzie. Hill had it momentarily. Well done, Tarrant. Stepped in the road. Mullet's hand pass. Bounces away from Demont. Demont's got to get a free kick.
I tell you what, though, if you could call a timeout, Brad's got to be loving to call a timeout right now and just address his troops.
Wonderful chase by McDonald moments ago, but they paid a high price. He hobbles off the ground. Quality defender. High ball to a pack. McAvoy from the side. Wagner knocks it forward. Coming across his bow was Stratton, boundary throw in.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yep.
Well strapped up, ready to come back on.
Good crowd in, probably approaching 40,000. Shields, O'Brien, gang tackled. Ray was the last one to get his hands on him. And the ball up. So Wells here. So here's the injury to Wells.
He's just rolled his ankle.
Yep, the dominant player on the field in the opening half. And really, North Melbourne's fate could depend on his fitness in the second half. Gibson's kick. Crashing through was Wood, couldn't quite. Well done, Gibson from Lewis. Shields gone. Great chase again, Wood. He's been impressive, Wood, hasn't he?
His defensive stuff has been outstanding. And he could have 2, maybe 3 goals to this early stage as well. So he's been a real live wire for them tonight.
Short to Ray. Third club for Ray. Out wide, Demont, a lot of the ball in the first half. Careful kick. It's okay. So Gibson. So who leads at half-time here? I mean, it seemed a foregone conclusion early in the match.
Gibson. From behind door, almost. Taken high was Thomas. Play on's the call. Hand pass from Goldstein. Head down, doing pretty well, Del Santo. Wagner across towards Ray. Ray's kick. Wide of the mark and through for a minor score. A man who's played in 3 grand finals.
Thomas will be lucky to get a free kick tonight, Dennis. That is genuinely high, though.
Yeah.
So, all square. Burgoyne. Oh, yes! What a mark!
You picked it early, Bruce. He's a lovely fly at the ball.
That's a special grab, isn't it, from O'Brien?
He can go early, too, and just hang in the air.
Kick not quite so good, but that won't be shown on the replay. That's not on the highlights reel. Wells spreading it beautifully to Gibson, to centre half forward. Terrific contest here. The other Gibson's been so good. Dorr puts the tackle on. But away goes Burgoyne, building it out wide. Well played, Hill, keeping the ball alive. What a game we've seen to half-time, mate. This is a beauty.
Doing the 23 pride right there. Famous number at Hawthorn. Boundary throw in. Hill has been well held. Atley has certainly had his number so far. Standing off the pack, Mullet sends one up towards the wing from behind Burgoyne. In front, Sicily. Now a chance for Thomas. Feeds it back, Del Santo. Del Santo does nicely. Wood been very good throughout the night. Turns the defence around. A high ball. Dorr comes back. Oh, well played, Frawley. Got a hand in there and knocked it away.
Majak Daw, to this stage, has not had a disposal. I mean, they really... The last time we saw him play at AFL level, he looked really promising, but he just hasn't been able to clunk any of those opportunities.
He's had 2 or 3 good chances in this quarter, hasn't he? So North pressing here, Goldstein trying to get it out the back. Harvey good there, getting rid of Duray. Gibson has to give up some ground. Good kick, McMillan is still a little way away now. What does he do? They've been going long, as Tim said. He decides to go out wide. Good kick, and gee, this guy, Mason Wood, has played some sort of a half of footy. And he just hasn't finished. His career high is 22 disposals in a match. He's coming up for his 14th here.
And 10 of those possessions have been contested possessions as well, so his work inside has been outstanding.
And Tim, this quarter, 10 disposals coming up, 6 contested and 3 tackles.
That's a busy quarter of football. He really does need to finish his work off.
He's had 3 shots on goal tonight and hasn't scored 1. This to give North Melbourne the lead one way or the other. And not coming back. So he could have been BOG alongside Wells to half-time with some good finishing. 14 scoring shots and a few more that have missed to 8.
Inside the last minute of what's been an amazing first half. Burgoyne. They've got the numerical advantage out there. Stratton was up in front, but now Mullet arrives quickly. Hard against the boundary line, just hooks it. Gibson missed it though. As a result, Gunston, always adept at getting back to help his defenders, gave it to Lewis, and Lewis is caught for incorrect disposal. So North Melbourne's Gibson gets the football, wasting no time, drives it long downwards, full forward. Daw, this time, no. Through his hand, should have marked that, behind.
That's the easiest opportunity he's had tonight to be able to take an overhead mark.
And Tim, what a difference had he taken that mark and kicked a goal before half-time.
For North Melbourne and his confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. Danger here, Petrie. Maybe the clock will save Hawthorn. So interesting stuff, because the Hawks had really rallied well here. You know, the Thomas 50-metre penalty certainly helped, but
Lewis looks a bit sore too after that last tackle.
But North sort of dominating the last few minutes, but not really putting it on the board, much like the opening term. Half-time's going to be interesting here with the two teams when they go to the break. And we're about to find out. So spot fires anywhere? Doesn't look like it, does it? We've probably had enough of it in the first half. The great Dupere, he would have loved this. He would have relished a moment like this. And Jordan Lewis with so much of the ball himself. So half-time here. And Eddie had a little bit of stuff going on. Michael Ferrito.
Come on, guys. Pretenders getting around, boys. We know you
half-time. Come on, guys.
Grab him. Take him in.
So I reckon it's unfinished business, don't you, after that? And the second half to sort it all out. What a half of football we've seen. North lead by 2 points. We thought it was a line in the sand match. It's turning out that way.
It's Sportsbet's AFL multi.
So McDonald limp off just before half-time. It's been a raw game of footy, this one. He's been the star, 19 possessions, the most on the ground. Tarrant's got 15. Dumont and Ray both inclusions tonight up 12. Jordan Lewis has 15. Wood's okay too. He'll make up the third man there. Ferrito has been hard at it. The veterans have led the way. Zeeble, number 7, has been quite outstanding, particularly early in this game, setting the tone. A long way to go. Shields has been quiet, goes after Wells, wins the football, tries to knock it out. Over the top, Gibson. And the umpire will ball it up. Just reminding you, 4 umpires tonight being trialled by the AFL over the bye rounds. Umpire Nichols. Segler outmaneuvered there by Goldstein, who tapped it down. Trying to get it out, Mitchell. Well done by Zeeble, across to Gibson. Difficult ball to mark. Reaching over the top, Stratton at the second attempt, knocked it away. Birchall claimed immediately by the first game of Wagner. And we get a ball up.
Strong tackle. His brother, of course, playing at Melbourne. He's out of the Brisbane Academy. Gibson, the ball just eluded him. Lewis, who looked a bit wounded before half-time, but doing well there. Mitchell's high ball, very wide. Ferrito letting it bounce, now wanting a deliberate, but
I don't know if this has any connection at all to the 4 umpires tonight, but there's been 36 free kicks paid in the first half. The average for the season's been 39. It may have an indication about the way the game's been played.
Absolutely. Shields' kick forward, marked by Tarrant.
Hold there, Jack.
Got so many questions, Tim and Lingy, that were sort of asked pre-match that are so superbly balanced right here and now, aren't they? I mean, where Hawthorn are at, North Melbourne. Brown's been superb in the air, hasn't he?
I reckon he can be a real factor for North Melbourne in the second half too.
Every time, Tim, tonight he's been in a marking contest, you feel like he's going to get it.
Well, he's playing against somebody that's undersized.
Wells, careful kick, good kick to Harvey. So Harvey 8 goals in his last 2 matches. Closing in on Michael Tuck at a rate of knots.
And on the mark is 60 metres out. Harvey goes very short and finds Zeeble. Now Zeeble within range, you'd suggest.
It's a clever kick by Harvey, knowing who you're kicking the ball to. Somebody who has got that range is Jack Zeeble. He was huge in that first quarter, a little bit quieter in the second. He was the one for North Melbourne, him and Daniel Wells, who set the standard early. This would be a huge captain's goal for him to nail it. Start the third quarter the way they started the game.
He's got one. When he kicked that, he was surrounded by spot fires. There goes the kick. It's not a good one. Sliding it right across the face. Lurking behind the Petrie. Point blank range. Burgoyne claiming he touched it. Goal umpire having none of it. So Petrie gets his second. And Burgoyne quite adamant and responding quickly, suggesting to the goal umpire he did touch the footy, but no hesitation from the goal umpire.
He was definitely going for goals, wasn't he? I mean, it was a kick to a good spot, though. What do you reckon?
I reckon he pulled the kick.
OK, good.
Have a look at this work by Brown. Did he tap that? He tapped that ball on, didn't he, Brown? Then just knocked it on.
Do you think Zeeble did kick to that spot?
I thought he pulled the kick. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Jack can kick that distance.
Interesting stuff. So an important goal. Petrie's got a couple. Mitchell, so many centre clearances tonight. O'Brien, who took a specky in the opening half. Atley, good tackle, Puopolo, but Atley released it well. McKenzie. And that neat kick from Mullet's a good one.
This North Melbourne defence has held up brilliantly well, both with their pressure, but also their composure when they've got the footy against that Hawthorn pressure.
Burgoyne just shrugged that tackle from Wells after Zeeble's kick was pretty ordinary. O'Brien gets back in again. O'Brien now in a bit of spot of bother. Ball leaks out the back. Burgoyne belting forward. Smith against a couple. Well played. Zeeble got across the front and belted it away. Zeeble's impact early here, much like it was in the opening term.
Touch on the Kangaroos' defence. Hawthorn only had the 1 mark inside 50. Zeeble's mark earlier was their 8th. Kangaroo defenders are doing really well down there.
Margin 8 points. North on top. Boundary throw in. Segler and Goldstein. Segler in front, 3rd man up. Gunston did well, directed it down. Brewst in the grasp. Smothered off the boot of Shields. Plucked out of there by Brewst. Can't get free though. Taken down. There the umpire. Some skills on display in a tight situation there from players of both teams. But it's North that come up with the footy. Here's Tarrant. He's been very good back there. An emerging star. Kicks along the line. Everybody missed it. Runs free at the back. Dorr leads back in the race. Has support alongside. Hot one to Thomas. Ball runs free once more. Second chance for Dorr. Picked up by Brown. Wagner goes in. Pushed off it. Picked up by Burgoyne. Having a few minutes here. Is he holding? I think he might be.
Now he's
Umpire thought long and hard about that one. Burgoyne imposing himself on this game. Shake of the head by the opposing coach.
I'm with him on that one. His intention then was just to lock the ball in.
Lewis just couldn't quite. Wells again, clever. Gibson, good pressure from Shields. Boundary throw in.
Shields, has he now gone to Wells, Lingy? He looks like he's manning him up at this stoppage.
I think he's certainly trying to get to him, closer than they did in the first half, but not a hard tag, Tim.
Jim McAvoy almost. Well played by Hill. Lewis got the first kick away. Gee, O'Brien brilliantly done and then missing. It's a terrific pick-up and turn by the big guy. He's a work in progress. He really could be something, couldn't he?
For a young key forward, we're really starting to see some glimpses of what he's capable of. Really exciting.
Thompson saw Wells doing up a bootlace there. And people just walking past him nonchalantly. I'd suggest somebody needs to get on him. Mullet over the head of Mullet, though. Lurking behind is picked up by Hill, who's been very quiet. A little chip pass down towards half forward, but North have got the numbers around the footy. McMillan comes up brandishing the ball. Jamont, cool for a young man, slips it back to Thompson. Thompson drives it up towards the wing. Big leap at the back, unrealistic. It'll be a Hawthorn free kick. Crawley has been in the wars tonight.
Lindsay, back here. Time back on, thank you.
Do you reckon Brown might have taken that, Mark?
Yeah. Gunston's found it difficult tonight too to find any space there at the forward end of the ground for Hawthorn. He only had the 4 touches.
Oh,
just a good kick from Teray to Rioli. They're on here. Hill, so lovely kick, Puopolo. Gee, in the end, it's a terrific defensive effort. Thought Poppy might have been able to stretch and hold it.
Just went a little bit high for him.
Yep. They have defended resolutely. Tarrant's been so important from them back there, not only tonight, obviously. Gibson, Rioli's tackle, terrific. McMillan belts the ball away.
They're going again. Cam said he liked the move. Well, down he goes, but still ample time to get up. He's surrounded, though. Petrie was just lurking off the pack, swinging up the rear to good effect and wins a free kick.
Thanks, easy. Let him up.
Right, just going too quick.
The man who's nicknamed Silk, that wasn't real silky.
Oh, you rarely see him do that.
Pushed up into the action, getting some touches, and just as well, Hawthorn under pressure again, as they have been for most of this game. North can't put it on the scoreboard. Harvey comes to Zeeble. He's at centre-half back. Zeeble drives it wide into space. Now he's a left-footer, McKenzie. Doesn't kick it. Goes to Attlee. He's a runner. He takes off. Couple of bounces. Carries it down towards half-forward. Kicks it long. Doors there from behind Brown. And Dorr in front juggles the mark. And Brown was terrific. He was going to fly, and he trusted his teammate.
Yeah, great call, Dan. That's exactly what Ben Brown did. His high ball could have crashed the pack. Realised his teammate had that front position, and that is a strong grab. An important grab. He spilled a couple in the second quarter, Majak Dorr. It's an important grab for the game, but also for his own confidence.
Margin is 7 points. This is a huge kick. From 25 metres out, Dorr comes in, and he's missing to the right.
So set shots tonight, 2-5 to 2-1.
No, they've just butchered the ball, haven't they, when they've had the opportunity to really put the sword to Hawthorn.
But the Hawks certainly on the back foot. Sicily kicked a terrific goal in the first half, playing sort of a cross half back for a lot of the night, as he did last week. O'Brien, we've talked about him, and Tarrant's been terrific.
And this game tonight really strikes me as one of those games. It's a big stage. It's Friday night. It's 1v5. It's a game where some reputations can be made. Whoever stands up in front of goal, whoever kicks those important goals, whoever has a big game and gets their team over the line, you can really make a huge, big game player reputation on games like this tonight.
Attlee did well. Harvey couldn't quite. One thing, I came here tonight thinking it would be quite a high-scoring match.
Yeah.
It's not the same as the Bulldogs North a few weeks ago. It's a much better game, but it's very low scoring, obviously.
Really, North Melbourne should be 5 or 6 goals up, and well on their way to a bigger score, but it's a strange game.
Harvey getting a fair bit of the ball in this term to the pocket. Wood, who was prolific in the second quarter.
You wonder what that might do for Majak Dorr's confidence too in the second half, to actually clunk one for the first time tonight. And that's where Attlee's important. He carried the ball up to the middle part of the ground and then was able to kick with great depth.
Goldstein hooks it down behind. Hartung was there, though. In front, Sicily. At one stage, North 3-1. They're now 5-12. Hawthorn follows up, drives it towards half forward. Now he turns most of the defence around, but not Tarrant. He was hanging back. He's been very good. In fact, this whole defence has. Little 1-2, Tarrant and Ferrito. Kick comes towards Harvey. Well aware of McAvoy bearing down, let the ball on. Taken by Wood to the pocket. And the mark is taken by Brown, tracking it back.
There's a poor kick then by Hawthorn. He just had to show some composure there. There was nothing out the back then. North Melbourne have held their form defensively really well all night.
That's really the story, isn't it? This North Melbourne defence tonight. They've been the masters of the danger zone. So Brown, he is a prodigious kick. He is a prodigious talent. This would be something. Runs inside the 50. The kick is on the way. It's close. Misses narrowly. Increases the lead.
2-6 now. I mean, that was a tough set shot, but 2-6 from set shots.
Every one of their defenders, Hawthorn defenders, and we know they've been doing this for years, but every one of them is undersized against their direct opponent. You got Stratton playing tall. Gibson's not a tall man, playing on either Brown or Majak Dor at different times. And then Petrie down there as well, playing on Frawley.
Brian Lake did fill a big hole in the last couple of years,
for them, yeah. Because he had the body, too, to be able to actually push those blokes under the ball.
Birchall, this is some good running. Giray got away from Harvey. Well done, Goldie. It didn't get far. Giray did well to get it back, and then he's gang tackled the ball up.
But Bruce, I was watching the North Melbourne defenders when Hawthorn looked to be breaking in the middle. Every one of their defenders had the Hawthorn player covered and was on goal side of them, so there was nowhere for them to go.
Goldstein engages Segler early. Shields with a little dinky one around the corner. Gunston, no impact so far. What can he do in the second half? And McKenzie. So no goal out of Puopolo, Bruce, Gunston.
That's a massive difference. Not what you expect from Hawthorn. Minus 23 in contested possessions. Been a bit of a concern this year, but not usually belted like that.
Farron Ray off to Wells, twisting, turning, elusive. Kicks into Gunston, ricochets back towards the middle. Puopolo in trouble. Ball falls to Mitchell. Mitchell under duress as well, and out it goes.
Puopolo, they just haven't had any room and any time to actually, create something. And normally that's what they're doing in the front half. But North Melbourne, they've just attacked them.
Segler, Mitchell couldn't handle it. Sliding in was Ray. Coming over the top was Shields. Ball
take it.
Very important time in this game now. Hawthorn need to flex some muscle.
Goldstein wins it. Smith just worked off it by Harvey. Puopolo probably within range of Poppy, can get the right kick on it. Doesn't, that's high.
Hey, don't give away 50. Straight up. Straight up. Get out. You've got to play the others. Out. That's exactly what happened. Scotty Johnson, 10 metres. 10 metres, guys. I see ya. 10 metres. Yeah, OK, I'll come with me. James, back a metre, Scott, please. Thank you.
So Thompson's high attack on Sicily.
Just got to be calm now. He's got plenty of room to work. 10 metres.
Kicked a terrific goal earlier tonight. Gets another one. He's got two. Hawthorn bounce back.
What a flexible talent he's becoming in the early part of his career. Last week he was playing across half-back. Now he's gone forward again tonight. He's a great target because one-on-one he's got a great pair of hands. And as we saw then, he's an intelligent player who just can think his way through a situation.
So Hawthorn close the gap. Let's go down to the Triple M's Doc White. Doc, we saw Luke McDonald running down Cyril Rioli here. What's the damage done to the hammy?
Yeah, certainly, Bruce. It was a tough task. He was trying to trace down Cyril. And you see that last lunge, he's gone and strained the mid-belly, the mid of the muscle of his left hamstring. Relatively good news. It's right in the middle of the muscle rather than the tendon up high. And although we know he's had a bit of a history of hamstrings in the past, early last year, at this point, relatively good news, hopefully, and we'll wait scans to hear the results.
Thanks, Melbourne. With a hard ball on the outer side, McKenzie missed his target. Del Santo goes back. Hawthorn waiting for him. Lewis laid it off nicely. Then the Shepherd. Birchall comes across the ground. Taken by Hill. Takes on Thompson. Searching kick inside the forward 50. That was a push, surely. Ball runs out of bounds. North Melbourne lead by 3 points.
Just have a look at here, Burgoyne here. Just this reach in here. Goldstein's gone. It's just a desperate lunge. And that's clearly a free kick there to Sicily.
So Sicily becoming a real target here. Bruce tucked away, hooking back, doing the team thing. Puopolo can't get a run at it. Mismark. And Hawthorn puts the Hawks in front.
Mackie, you know, you can go all the way back to that bit of play in the centre of the ground then.
Yeah, no, you're
Goldstein is going to take that ball out of the centre, and it's going to be in North Melbourne's forward line, and Hawthorn's defence is going to be under pressure.
No, spot on, Tim. It was a great call by you. It's what Burgoyne does so well, isn't it? Terrific reply here by the champs.
Oh, what a tense game this is. It's been all North Melbourne. They haven't taken their chances, but the champs are in front. Billy Hartung with a terrific snap. Hawthorn, they just never go away. This is going to go all the way down to the wire.
Hawthorn lead by 3 points. It's their natural habitat. Ball comes across towards Zeeble. Zeeble kicks inside the forward 50. Brown just plucks it away. How another youngster. No measure for this man. Just the power to remove that football and make it his own. His last shot at goal didn't miss by much. That was on a sharp angle. This one, you'd expect him to kick. But North haven't lived up to expectations tonight so far. He does. One of the most promising youngsters in the game today. He brings so much to the table, Ben Brown. That was just terrific. It's an old head and a hairy one and young shoulders.
Absolutely.
Back this way.
Here's just that quick kick out of the centre there by Jack Zeeble, and this is just a pluck. I mean, he still looks really dangerous, Brown. And anytime they go forward, we talked about the undersized Hawthorn defence. Those quick kicks really make them stretched.
Dumont out of the centre, gets a fair bit on that. Gibson building it away. 6 marks for Brown tonight. 5 contested. Gee, you don't see Mitchell give it up too easily like that. But Wood had a chance and couldn't get rid of it. Great tackle.
But that's what we've seen all night, Bruce. North Melbourne.
Mark's back here.
Costly 50-metre again against Lindsay Thomas, but Hawthorn just fumbling occasionally because of that great North Melbourne pressure.
Play on.
So, Giray, long ball forward. Dorr was the big first flyer. Thompson ducked his head, got rid of it in a hurry. Dorr did well, actually. Attlee wanted to take them on, couldn't find the space. Shields and Wells together. Harvey throws it out. It was a throw. Lewis to take it. So Lewis into the 20s. He's been prolific over the last month.
Kicks it very high with intent. Sicily surrounded. Tarrant thumping away. Taken by Gibson. Feeds it back. Mullet out of the back pocket. 50-50 ball. Split the pair of them. Ray runs onto it just inside the boundary. Hartung got him dead to rights. Boundary throw in.
Shields is continuing to follow Wells around. He's only had the 4 touches this quarter. Really quelled his influence.
He's been good, Sully. It's a good pickup. We love the fact that they made that move. Wells having huge influence in that first half. Wells is still fighting hard to win the footy, but Shields doing his job.
Dragged it in, North Melbourne. Door, Magic.
Right there, Ben.
I think Matt Jack can have as much impact around the ground as what he can as a forward. Like, he's a big athletic bloke, and the pressure that he can apply, as we just saw then, even at ground level, he can be a factor.
Lewis Burgoyne, Mitchell, eh? What about those three? Lewis, Burgoyne, Mitchell.
Superstar Burgoyne.
Dore athletically getting back and courageously. Have a kick again to Dal Santo. From Atley wide to Mullet. Mullet conceding. Didn't really strike it all that well. They'll get away with it, I think. McMillan, Atley. McMillan, it was a hot handball. McMillan did very well. Spreads it to Mullet on the right side for him. Terrible kick. Showed a lot of the ball to Stewart. Couldn't take the mark. Birchall. Stratton. Well done. Stewart gets a second look at it. Kicks to the pocket. Where's Sicily? There he is. Yep, got it. He suddenly has become the target, hasn't he? He's the Gunston for the minute.
Dennis, does he remind you at all of Gary Buckenara, the way that he flies for the ball?
There's a bit of that, isn't there?
Or Ken Judge. I mean, there's a combination of those two former Hawks that he reminds me of.
I mean, right now, Brown at one end and Sicily at the other. You feel are the two forwards that are doing the damage. And this for maybe a third goal and to put Hawthorn back in front again. Just good kick. That is a good kick. He's having a big night. I know he's kicked 5 in a match, but I reckon this is bigger. Well, isn't it exciting to see emerging talent? We've seen O'Brien, this boy, not, you know, Ruffy, we know. Hawthorn have had to rejuvenate. They've had to bring on the young.
I love the way Clarko's handling him, though, too. The fact that he's giving him this football education, because Hawthorn know if they're to be a serious contender again in September, they've got to get some new, fresh talent into their lineup that's got some conditioning.
Gee, big difference one goal makes, Dennis, in a live ladder. They go from 5 to 2.
How about that? Instant response. Back in the middle. 3 points the difference. They won 3 games this season by 3 points in their past, and now they lead a very important game by the same margin. Gibson with the judgment, got it down in front. Lewis, just get the feeling the Giant is stirring, holding on to the Hawthorn player out there. It'll be a free kick. It'll be taken by O'Brien. No doubting that.
That's a professional defender's free kick, that one, Dennis. Scotty Thompson knew that O'Brien had him goal side, was going to turn him. Happy to give away the little tug of the jumper to slow him down.
Been nervous a few times tonight, Scotty. Like a fireman waiting to face up to the next alarm. There goes Frawley, comes out wide. It's taken by Birchall. Birchall takes on the man on the mark and kicks it down towards half forward. Hangs a long time in the air, gives everybody a chance. O'Brien came strongly. Dumont just slipped it away to Thompson. Rioli was slick. Getting out of trouble, Mitchell knew where the help was. Got it across to Smith. Hartung finds himself in space. Terrible kick, though. He scuffed it. Mullet in the opposite direction. Hand passes across towards Harvey, and Harvey goes out wide, and that was the perfect kick to Wood.
Gee, that was great attack on the footy by Aaron Mullet. Just made that ball his own. It was a 50-50 footy in a dangerous Hawthorn forward line. He won it, and that's how they got the relief kick.
Burgoyne again doing those little things. Wood, who has, that's unlucky, that's on the full. Wood's just played so well but burnt the ball too often tonight to have had a really spectacular match. That one a safety first kick. Segler's big fly, ball gets to the back. Thomas, we've seen the good, the bad and the ugly tonight. Dal Santo, that's a beautiful kick on the other side. Now, Petrie's got a lot of length. Goldstein's in the goal square.
On Birchall too.
He's decided not to do it, and he's gone back to Zeeble. Now, we saw the hook kick from Zeeble, but he was on that angle. He's safety first at Dal Santo, so not much ground made here.
McAvoy's really got a dilemma down there. He's going from Brown to Goldstein and back.
Let's see how he turns out. Petrie was the big flyer. Giray. Hawthorn get away, but only straight back to the same man again in Dal Santo.
A lot of pointing in that Hawthorn defence. They're short. There's the problem he's got. Now Petrie is back deep as well. Ball comes in from Dal Santo. Goldstein launches himself off hands and out of bounds. We'll get a boundary throw in.
I think it makes their task easier, though, Dennis. The 3 tall Kangaroos just camping in the one area. They actually had to try and separate those Hawthorn defenders.
Yep. Petrie came back deep, and I think that was one too many because, well, brilliant pick up there by the young fella playing his first game, Wagner. And he misses wide left. He's fitted in nicely. He doesn't look out of place. The margin, Hawthorn by 2 against what we've seen for most of the night. Now Burgoyne, look at his stats, just 10 possessions, but he's been far better than that.
No, that's been the story of his career, Dennis. He probably averages 19, but he's worth 30. Hill stretching D'Alessandro. Well done, D'Alessandro. Just kept the angle so that Hill had to hug the boundary and forces a turnover. Sawley will be talking to Brad Scott at three-quarter time, looking forward to that. And Mullock back. Zeeble the target. He has to wait a long time. She was a dangerous kick and he showed so much courage. McAvoy, Hawthorn turning, twisting. He put them in front a moment ago. He might give them a big lead. Here he does. Billy runs it home. Well, it was a poor kick coming out. Zeeble was left in a terrible position. McAvoy was up for the chase, up for the challenge. And the two sevens collided, and little Billy took off. Gee, they're a good side. But we knew that, didn't we? We've known that for a long time, haven't we?
You've got to beat them. They don't hand you a victory.
Outstanding commitment from both players. Ben McAvoy and Jack Zeeble. Great attack on the footy. Well done by McAvoy to bring it to ground, and then it was all class from Billy Hartung. The spin, the run, the goal. Well played. What has North Melbourne got?
D'Alessandro to Wells. Little chip still inside the centre square. Goldstein. Hawthorn with their biggest lead of the night. D'Alessandro does well. Lines up on goal. It's off target. It will fall short, and Wood over the top takes a towering mark.
He's a tower.
Well, it's been a coming-out party for this young man. As I mentioned, on debut, he kicked 3 goals against Melbourne. Now, Hill is very fortunate there, just helping the umpire, and there's 4 of them. They don't need him. And the angle will open up for the left footer. North Melbourne's biggest lead tonight, 17 points. This, another important goal to whittle it back, get it back to just 2 here. And balance of play, they deserve to be in front. They're down by 2. Well, that was a wonderful mark. Had free run at it, which helps.
Michael, let go, please.
Needed a body in front of him. But this is an ongoing problem for Hawthorn. We were talking about it before. Brian Lake no longer with them, and that was a bold decision to let him go in hindsight. Not being wise after the event, but you thought at the time, well, they know their players better than we do, but it did seem a little strange.
Just a beautiful run and leap at the ball.
What sort of a play is he going to be, Tim? Where will he end up playing, do you reckon? Think about it for a bit. He's got so much to offer. Wells again out of the centre. North respond again. Been a wonderful game. Brown split the pack. Wood taps it. Thomas, Giray, they've got to be carefully Hawthorn. They can't get it out deliberately. The ball does the job for them and rolls over the line.
Well, he's going to be that high half-forward type player. But he's capable of actually holding down a key position too.
A wonderful game with a lot more to offer still yet. Goldstein, a bit of a fresh air. Wells, Harvey! Oh, the old firm nearly.
Gee, they got on the move then. Really well done by Wells to Harvey. And as you said, that combination, he would have called many a time, Bruce. Nearly got the goal.
Dying seconds of the 3rd term. Burgoyne called to play on. Sicily, his confidence on the rise. Flew in front of that pack. Crumbed by Mitchell. O'Brien cruising past the hand pass. Not a particularly good one. Sicily back to O'Brien now. He kicks down towards half forward. Gathered nicely by Rioli. Rioli kicks towards a Bacon square. And a lunging mark is taken by Bruce.
That is going to hurt North Melbourne right on the 3/4 time siren, but that is a ridiculous kick from Cyril Rioli.
They had no right in obstructing a goal-scoring opportunity from where that ball started with so few seconds left on the clock.
Don't give it away.
It was precise back on the wing. Quick, telling hand passes. And now Bruce puts the icing on that move as the siren is about to sound.
Scott, go to your huddle. Scott Thompson, go to your huddle. Come on.
Still the feeling that was there earlier is still around, but it's been tempered by effort. They've worked so hard. It's not a talking match now. And still a quarter to go. Three-quarter time. Friday night football. Hawthorn lead by 7. They're remarkable at getting out of tight situations. Can they do it again tonight? 64 plays 57.
Sorely down to you. You've got Scotty with you.
Scotty, it really is like a finals atmosphere out here. What was the message then?
Yeah, it is. You know, we just thought we needed to go forward a bit more rather than probably trying to switch and, you know, use the overlap. You know, they shut it down pretty well and scored on the back of that. So didn't get reward for effort that quarter, but hopefully we do this quarter.
You spent a lot of time with individual groups. Where's the lift come from this last quarter?
Yeah, well, look, all of them have been good. You know, we're just going to keep building the pressure and taking our opportunities. Hawthorn have taken theirs, and I think we keep creating enough opportunity, we'll capitalise.
All the best, mate.
Thanks, mate.
I think he's right. They haven't been doing a lot wrong in this game, and they have slaughtered the ball when they've gone forward. They've had 22 scoring shots to 14. It really is a matter of going forward quickly, because I think they've got those big, tall guys there that can be a factor in this last quarter.
We always talk about the contested possession being so important. They're up by 24, so they're winning it. Just got to use it better in front of goal. We know that. They do have a forward line that looks really dangerous, North Melbourne.
Moments ago saw Luke McDonald on the boundary, gone for the night. North Melbourne came to play tonight, and so far they have, but Hawthorn in front. Out of the middle, Shields, who's been quiet, floats one towards half forward. Tarrant reaches over the top, destroys it. It bounces out towards the wing. Segler onto the loose ball, poor kick, very high. Floats to the pocket. O'Brien hands to it. Took one spectacular mark earlier. Thompson, McKenzie, now Tarrant out of the back pocket, out of the 50. And he took the mark, Goldstein. That was very athletic, low down.
Brilliant mark, wasn't it? So keeps it wide, safe enough. Gibson hasn't missed a game since he debuted. Gibson, remarkable stuff. 30 years of age. Harvey, well, remarkable. 38-year-old. I mean, he's crazy, Harvey, what he's doing at his age.
There's remarkable, and then there's Boomer, isn't there?
Absolutely. He's the Kelly Slater of footy, isn't he? So what's in store for us in the next half an hour? It's been a night to remember. The emerging talent of some key forwards on both sides. The explosive start to the match. Wells and Zeeble, the fight back by Lewis and Mitchell. And there they are. The two of them together. Puopolo, Shields. It was a good tackle, but he got the kick away. And there's O'Brien. Well done, Ferrito. Gunston, just his 5th disposal. Poppy running hard, bringing the ball back to a dangerous spot. Sicily again.
Well, Tim spoke earlier about the fact he's been used off half-back in the last couple of games. Part of his footballing education that Alistair Clarkson's put into him. But this is huge for him, from him to be able to shift from that mindset of a defender to playing as a forward tonight, and has been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant in the air, on the ground. He's kicking for goal. Has been absolutely clutch. Can he do it again?
They won't name a street after him, Ringy. If he kicks this, they'll name a country after him. So he's kicked 4. He's becoming the difference.
You know, he hasn't been nominated yet for an Rising Star. He may get his nomination after this performance.
Could I have evens, Tim? I don't mind a bet on a Saturday. I'll wait for tomorrow.
The body work that he did on a very good body player then in Thompson, too. Like, there was no free kick, no indication of a free kick, but he just moved Thompson ever so subtly underneath the ball.
Sicily O'Brien. I think we're going to be talking about them for a while to come.
Beautiful, uncomplicated kicking action there. He's only 186 centimetres, so he's not big as far as forwards go, but he plays a lot taller than that. Very good in the air. What a game he's having.
Segler slams it down towards half forward. Puopolo winning a hard ball, and he dropped it. Nicely done by Atley. Cool head. McKenzie out wide. Pushing up his mullet, looks towards half forward. Brown doesn't miss much that comes his way. Kicks close to the line. Gave Wood a chance, and why not? Wagner gives a hand pass across to Dumont. Over the top, Petrie got it on the ground. That may be good enough. Howe's got the football. Thomas has got him. About 15 metres out from goal, and the umpire will ball it up.
So North need to respond here. They've played so well for most of the night. They've missed chances. But Hawthorn responding brilliantly, and have got a lead. Mullet, yes! No! We saw him attack the footy in the back half in the third quarter. He did the same thing there. Well, that's building the post, isn't it?
He was smashed into the woodwork. He actually, the ball, he laid it almost across his boot like a boomerang. He thought it was through. It took a vicious curve on that ball.
He was off to the races with the celebration, wasn't he?
That's right, the old premature celebration. There goes Lewis, gives a hand pass across towards Smith to Mitchell. Cool head. Oh, gee, that was a calculated kick. Just got there in time to Stratton. Stratton comes back to Smith, defensive side of the wing. We're up by 12. Who would have thought this? Runs on, well, I suppose most people, because it's Hawthorn. The high one down towards half forward. Puopolo, delusions of adequacy there. He jumped but didn't touch the football. Atley lost it. Shields off the ground, improvising. Skims down towards Mullet. He's tackled. Almost the catch of the day. Rolls towards the pocket. Thompson's got it. In comes Rioli. This ball is about 10 metres out. Hill, very quiet night. Rioli tries to get it out. Socket off the ground by Mullet. Coming away, Del Santo. Now the star of the night for North, Wells. Nobody goes near him. He kicks wide. Missed back door again. He's got to mark those, although it works out okay. Harvey with support up ahead, Brown. He's using Brown as a buffer, and now he takes off. Runs inside the 50. Centering ball favours Petrie. Petrie goes back. Brilliant. Brilliant defence by Gibson. Timed the spoil perfectly and knocked it out of bounds.
Dennis, great call. That was brilliant by Josh Gibson there. He looked for all money like he was going to give away a free kick, but just made enough contact, turned his body at the right time to make sure the umpire didn't pay one against him. That's clever defending.
Great stuff. So Thomas, he's kicked one from here already tonight. No, he hasn't. He's kicked two from there already tonight. What a strange player he is. I mean, really, it is the good, the bad, and you want to strangle him. I mean, that's the truth, isn't it? I mean, he's kicked three tonight. I mean, he's kicked two exceptional goals. He's been in everyone's face, including the umpires. He's been costly, and yet that little bit of genius has kept them in the match. You work him out, Tim. He's too hard for Lingy and I.
Now,
got a handle on him, Tim?
That is well, not really. I'm not sure Brad Scott has got a handle on him either, but that's making the most of a half chance again.
3 goals for the night, 2 remarkable goals out of that pocket. Very similar. Segler to Rioli. Rioli feeds it forward. Smith to his own advantage will sort off. McKenzie, Zeeble. No one safe. Friend or foe, he just crashes into McKenzie. He wants the football. Will get a ball up.
He reads it so well, Rioli, whether it be offhands in the forward pocket or offhands in the centre square. Dorr, good body work, got rid of his man. Lewis hard, Burgoyne, Dumont, well done, Hill. Ray around the corner. Brown has been marking these all night, he did well. Got the ball down, Giray got the luck of the bounce, took advantage on the wrong side for him. Puopolo normally dangerous here. Gunston, Puopolo not quite themselves tonight, maybe here. And you've got to say that Robbie Tarrant has played one heck of a match.
He's been fantastic tonight.
He's had a good year, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Like he's all Australian type contention for one of those key, well, for full-back position.
Segler, dangerous in that spot. An experience from Dorr, but they cover quickly. Lewis goes down under a tackle. Segler got it to the right spot.
Thanks, Cyril.
Ball up.
Backing out that
He's
way.
given them something on the ball, though, too, Majak Dorr.
Hawthorn pressing. Lewis, third man up, knocks it down. Dumont, clever hand pass, gave it to Del Santo. Trying to go through there, and no chance. Held up McKenzie.
And that's been important, Majak Dorr having an influence, because Goldstein hasn't had his usual impact on the game, only the 6 disposals.
Dorr, well done. Del Santo off balance, high one. Plenty of Hawks out there. Well, doing well enough was Mullet. Enforcing the high tackle, I think, was Sicily. The right arm went up, and the arm slid high from Thompson.
I wouldn't mind another look at this one. Sicily, let's see how he got that.
No, that's the one.
But that's the one where it's
been talking about.
Yeah, and it's the tackler's responsibility there to get lower. He certainly lifts it up with the arm, but you've got to simply get lower in the tackle, don't you?
That really is ducking into the tackle, though.
I know he's initiating the high contact, but it's hard, that one.
This for a career high 5 goals. He has been steadfast tonight. James Sicily. He's got 5. North Melbourne have got 8. And if you want a match-winning performance, I think that's it. Although it's not over yet. North have shown the capacity to absorb quite a bit tonight, some of their own making, and come back fighting.
When they're planning, they would have looked at Bruce and Puopolo and Rioli and Gunson. They wouldn't have been thinking this bloke was going to get under their coat.
So, Tim, this is what all the debate's been about. Is that a free kick?
No, that's not a free kick. I think that's what they don't want to be, a free kick.
Under current interpretation, though, is that a free kick? Is that what needs to change?
That's what needs to change, but you're right. Currently, that is a free kick.
Gold, Wells did well. Back to McKenzie. Couple of goals in it. Dorr split the pack. Wood at the back. Been so good, Wood. Decides to concede. Back to Gibson. So what a test for North Melbourne here. They've got a tough run, we know. They've lost 2 of their last 3. They've been top for the last 9 weeks. Kicks to full forward. Brown. Wasn't a great kick. And McAvoy, that play with Zeeble in the third quarter we talked about, and that was just as courageous there. Across the front of the pack. Unfortunately, Gibson's kick was just too shallow, wasn't it? If you're a North Melbourne fan.
Just feel they need to keep getting it in there long, though, as much as they possibly can. Not just dumping it on their heads, but in long, because that's where that advantage is.
Hawthorn 4 goals tonight, by the way, from free kicks.
McKenzie. Thompson. Still going, Thompson. Del Santo in space. In 2 minds, though. Confronted by Mitchell. Mitchell almost hypnotised him. Played it brilliantly. Gave it to Burgoyne. Burgoyne kicks it up towards the wing. Puopolo. Hands to it. Couldn't hang on. O'Brien cast in the role of a crummer. Kicks it down towards the pocket. This will be interesting. Mullet reaches over the top. Accelerating out of the curve is Bruce. Mullet came again and took him down. Atley comes across. Third man gets the cream. Just bounces his way to the pocket. Wonderful one-on-one duel. This is the youngster Wagner. Comes wide to Goldstein. North advance the ball. At the interchange gates, Mullet continues his run. Kicks it towards Petrie. Gathers the bouncing ball. Flips it away to Gibson. Gibson fires one towards full forward. Thomas is roving the pack. Bounces away from him. Mitchell read it best and gave it to Hawthorn.
Gee, what a spectacular bit of play from one end to the other. One of the best one-on-ones a moment ago. Puopolo drawing the free kick. They're running hard, Hawthorn. Hill onto it. Little dainty kicks a beauty. O'Brien within range.
Sammy Mitchell's really sore behind play. He's still at half-back. Looks like he's got a corky, Bruce.
And Howe now presenting it. Yeah, have a look at that.
Well, everybody just needs to take a deep breath now, because the ball has gone end-to-end. Mullet saved a certain goal, maybe a little leg at the end, but the ball went all the way down North Melbourne's attacking end, all the way back. This game has had everything.
1 goal this year, career high disposals last week, quieter this week, and a hook. So North with some catching up to do. Mitchell, of course, didn't play the week before with the back, but it's a different problem. Probably rested the week before, but he's played his part tonight in more ways than one.
13 points the margin. Handy point, as they like to say. McAvoy reaches in and knocks it out of bounds. Clock stops.
They really just need, I mean, they need Wells or they need Boomer now to be able to just run the lines and break the play up a bit.
In some respects, we're seeing why Hawthorn are so good. They didn't bring their A game tonight, but they might still win. Jarre's kick's not a good one. Head down, trying to go through there was Stewart. Spills across to Tarrant, misses the target though. Here's trouble. The calculating Lewis has missed. And full time to kick a goal. He didn't. Margin is 14.
Some irony here. I mean, they've missed 2 sitters, Hawthorn, in the last 2 minutes, and it's been North's inaccuracy and wasted chances that denied them early.
Great kick.
Oh, Wagner just couldn't quite. McAvoy, Wagner. Oh, well played, though, by Shields. Dorr just fends him off. This is what Tim Watson was talking about a moment ago. Boomer trying to break the line, and he's done it successfully, brilliantly. Kicks to full forward. Petrie, yes. Tim, was that what you were talking about?
Exactly.
How did you know, Tim?
What about this bit of play here by Majak too, that fend off?
Brilliant. I mean, that's what you want him for. He's the most imposing physical specimen in the game. Use it.
Perfect. He's a ruckman now. Yep. That's what he is.
So he's kicked 2, Petrie. Joined Shimmer and Adam Simpson tonight for most games. Number 3 on the all-time list. Gets his 3rd. Thomas 3, Petrie 3. North still very much alive. Well done, Boomer.
Yeah, the great thing is, you know, he's got great speed still, but it's his finish. It's all that work that he does in being able to evade the tackler, find himself a little bit of space, but then the finish, that kick was just a beautiful kick then to Petrie.
Petrie's been pretty good tonight, hasn't he?
Yep. They're not done.
Is this moment ready for the acting skipper, Jack Ziebell? He's had 0 possessions in this last quarter so far. Just feel his personality. He will want to will himself to every contest and get his team over the line here.
Segler decisively. Out of there by Rioli. Down towards the attacking 50. In front, Thompson. On the assist is Ray. Paddles it towards the boundary line. Knew where the help was. McMillan pulls it back, but dangerously so. Thompson over the football, Hartung over him. Slapped wide. Ziebell. Is it his first possession? No, it's not. And the ball trickles out of bounds. And leading up to that last goal, there was a magical touch by Wells as a hand pass was stifled and deflected to a teammate. Not sure he meant to do all of that. But the hand in there was telling. So a boundary throw in on the outer side. Segler and Goldstein. Lock up again. Goldstein knocks it down. Gibson coming through the pack. Oh, quick by Lewis. Burgoyne settles. 55 metres out. He's wide of the mark. Coming back is Ferrito. Now, he helps it on its way. And under the strict interpretation of deliberate these days, that's probably the anomaly in the rule.
Absolutely. No other intention. North hanging on by a thread here, aren't they? Hill running it forward, can't quite get it. Quick kick try by Smith and off the ground by O'Brien. Ricochet, well played, Mullet. Atlee the runner, it's in pretty good hands, I think. Rioli, though, the best tackler in the business. And Thompson wasn't going anywhere.
I reckon he's tackled Thompson 5 times tonight.
As Dennis said, poor old Scotty, he's going to bed thinking there's going to be a fire any moment. He's not getting much sleep. And the ball up.
High ball.
What a great game we've seen tonight.
It's delivered in spades, hasn't it?
Straight out.
8 points the difference, and still a long way to go. Goldstein comes back towards him. Mitchell in the thick of the action.
As good as Goldstein is, I actually think right now North Melbourne are going to be better served by having Majak Dorr around the ball. His athleticism is a real worry for Hawthorn.
Goldstein, well, fumbled it. Burgoyne hurriedly wide of the mark. 9 points the difference now, the Hawks.
So every kick now in the back half important for the Kangaroos. There is the target with Segler able to take the mark. I think Wood was the target. Dorr, I thought, was going to get into the action, couldn't quite.
Gee, you love that from a ruckman. In the last quarter, stand tall and take that sort of mark.
Kicks to full forward. Oh, Rioli and O'Brien both flying high. Atlee took the tackler on. Rioli, little pokey one. Burgoyne couldn't quite get it. Mitchell back on the ground. Lewis, it's the old firm. It's Mitchell to Lewis, and it's a goal.
What about Cyril? Cyril was down on the ground, and the North Melbourne player, whoever it was, thought, well, that's easy enough. I can just step past him. But Cyril, like there was a trampoline beneath him, was back in the action and applying pressure, and suddenly just stole the football. Remarkable.
Sometimes we just put too much focus on possession. Sean Burgoyne's only had the 15 possessions, but just that little kick there just to keep the ball alive, and smart by Jordan Lewis. Knew he didn't have much time at all, had to put it onto the right boot instead of the left. That's just football IQ from both of those players, experienced footballers.
An inexperienced one, Jamont digs it out of the middle, kicks inside the forward 50, full-chested. Giray comes up and takes the mark. 15 points the difference. Suddenly time is important. Majak Dor seizing the moment, knocks it away from Smith. This will be interesting. Simply too much power by the big man. Kicks it down towards full forward. Well, Harvey was set a task. He fought a draw, and that was a win. Goes after it, rolls across towards Brown. Gibson in front. Josh Gibson, a former North player, just fiddling around with the football. He wants it there. It's wedged underneath them. And the umpire, no alternative but to ball it up.
Love this from Majak Dor. The work rate to get over and provide the spoil, win the footy, keep the ball alive for North Melbourne.
And now doing some brilliant ruck work, getting over the top.
She's going to be in a lot of clubs' conversations when they talk at the end of the season about the possibility of securing a ruckman, isn't he?
Great.
Segler just got over Goldstein there. That's what Tim was talking about a moment ago. Dor's the one getting over the top. Goldie, probably not fully fit. That's deliberate, is it? Yep. So North to bring it back in. There is still time to go, but North need to make things happen in the next couple of minutes. Just the 7 goals. Brown, big fly, was at the back. Zeeble trying to do that bash and crash and impose himself at thing he talked about. And here's the deliberate paid.
Not sure you can pull it back any more than that. It's the way it bounced when it landed. You'd hate to see a grand final decided with that sort of decision. As much as I applaud what they're trying to do. There's Bruce on the boundary, upended, kicks it up towards the wing, but it will be coming back. Thompson's got it. There's Dor.
These two efforts there were fantastic.
Thompson. Segler from behind. One of the most improved players in the competition. Down goes Thomas, and the ball rolls out of bounds.
Have a look at these two efforts here from Majak. There's the tap first, and then bang. That's a solid tackle. He gets up again and puts pressure on after that too. Here he goes again.
You're right.
I know they're still working on his endurance, but gee.
He's a ruckman though, isn't he?
Isn't he? What?
Harvey roving it and goaling. 38 years of age, 422 games, and keeping them alive. I mean, if Einstein or Sir Isaac Newton were working out, they'd say that's a mathematical impossibility. You can't be 38 and 422 games and keep a team alive. You're too darn old. But he is.
The finish line's not in sight, though.
And the 2 plays he's had in the last quarter, I mean, cutting through to Petrie there. He hasn't had a big night disposals-wise, but he's having a big last quarter.
He is. The old champ here, just smarts, found himself a pocket of space where there seemed to be none. He doesn't miss when you give him that sort of opportunity in front of goal. He's still doing it.
Hawthorn by 9 points then. Goldstein into the path of Del Santo, who soccers down towards half forward. Down goes Harvey, down goes Del Santo. And they'll get a ball up. Brent Harvey playing his 399th home and away game. He's bowled 187 Brownlow votes. It is a remarkable story. He turned 38, 36 days ago. In that pack, Shields straight up in the air. Thomas, wonderful, wonderful skill. Away to Ray. Dumont kicks it down towards full forward. Coming fully committed there was Wood. Ball on the ground. Well done, Wells. Harvey away to Thomas. Thomas hooks, but he misses. It's tougher when you're straight out and going with your right. He's kicked a couple of beauties with his left.
This is finals top footy, this. The players going back with the flight, getting absolutely smashed in marking contests. no time when you've got the footy. This is a brilliant game.
And there are so many guys coming off the ground just exhausted. The bench are working overtime at the moment.
So Howe hugging that boundary line. Sicily, the big flyer, what a game he's played. Thompson running hard. Dawes having a big impact after a quiet first half. Gets a lot on it. Where's Brown? He's outnumbered, but he brings a couple to the ground. Wells has his 30th disposal. Can't quite get the target. Gets back to Wood. What a game he's played. It's got better right here and now. That shin boner spirit coming hard. Well, Majak Daw, Daniel Wells, Mason Wood. I mean, three men that tonight in their own way have had huge impact on this match.
And interestingly, the last time the ball was at the centre bounce, Majak Daw went in there with Goldstein, and it appears that he's going back in there again. So Brad Scott wants him on the ball. I mean, he's become a factor in this game.
We just pumped up down the other end Sean Burgoyne and Jordan Lewis's footy IQ. What about that tap from Nick Del Santo there? He knew if he took possession, he would have been wrapped up straight away. So smart to tap it on to Mason Wood, and well finished.
Have a look at this.
Daniel Howe would have learned something there. Didn't seem aware that Mason Wood was a left footer. Went to cover the middle. Made it easy for him. Still, as I say, he'll be wiser. Hawthorn being challenged. The margin is 2 points. Off the ground by Lewis Datterwood's half forward. Spinning in and out of trouble was Stewart.
Push in the back, Hawthorn.
Stewart will get the free kick.
Yeah, thank you.
He's about 65 metres out from goal. Rioli headed back towards the goal square. Puopolo is down there as well. Sounds unusual, doesn't it? Two small targets, but a tall man on the move. Gunston has marked this one 55 metres out. His first kick of the night. His second coming up. Sorry. Thank you, Bruce. So Gunston.
It's the old rule, isn't it? You can have a quiet night, but you can still play an important part in winning the game. Stay in the game right till the end.
Jack Gunston, who brings a powerful foot. But this one inaccurate, out to the right, hasn't got the distance anyway. Well, maybe. Doesn't matter. It's across the line. And the lead now is 3 points. You wonder what he's thinking. A penny for his thoughts.
Gee, Majak Daw at the moment's everywhere, isn't he?
Oh, James!
So they've missed a few chances here, Hawthorn. I mean, it's all been North Melbourne in terms of missed chances, but Hawthorn have had some relatively easy shots in the last quarter. They still lead. Terrific effort from Gunston there, but Tarrant has been his master so far tonight.
How good had Hawthorn been, though, in the early part of this season at closing out games? There were 3 weeks in a row that they won games by 3 points. I mean, they're seriously good under these circumstances.
Well, that's a magic number at the moment, Tim. I mean, what a difference it makes to your season if you can get the win rather than the loss in those situations. The Prez.
The CEO, Carl Delena, down there in the front.
Yep. And then the coach.
Not many fingernails left on those hands.
Segler. Gibson searching for it. Segler over the top. Goldstein ball up. So how many more goals has this match got in? You reckon probably one?
Maybe one.
Yep.
That's interesting now too. Burgoyne is now matched up against Brent Harvey.
Hawthorn by 3 points. Tossed up. And they're attacking 50. Knocked down by Del Santo. Kick smothered off the boot of Zeeble. Zeeble gets another chance. Only as far as Burgoyne. Wasn't 15. It was touched anyway. Down goes Zeeble under a tackle. He set the tone early. And now he's trying to finish the job. Under 3.5 minutes remain. Friday night football, it's been a clinker. A tinderbox, as we said earlier. Goldstein straight to Smith. Kicks inside the forward 50. Ricochets to Ferrito. Under pressure. Kicks to midfield. From behind, Gibson. No chance. Terrific mark again by Brown. He's a good young player.
Does anyone take a mark higher than he does? To fall forward. Petrie, the big fly. Ball getting back to Burgoyne, to Birchall. Duray, good smother across the body from Gibson. And Wells can't quite keep it in. So North pressing hard here. He takes the ball at its full height, doesn't he?
Rhino, you've got the throw in.
He's something to behold. And at the other end, Sicily with his handful. O'Brien with his specky. Segler doing a good job. Gibson worked underneath it. Shields, not far enough though. Muller bangs it back in. They've got flyers. Petrie, nearly. Had a fair bit of it. Wood looking for a free kick and a ball up.
Go through.
And that's, Tim, you talked about it earlier. That was their style early. Go long, go quickly, wasn't it? Gee, Drew looked a chance here, didn't he?
He was right in the... It was almost Brown that scored him in the end.
It's what Tim spoke about before. They want one of those talls running and jumping and marking that one, not four all going at the 1-footy.
Hawthorn lead by 3. 2.5 minutes to go. Segler perhaps, only as far as Zeeble. Dumont has a chance. And he puts it wide and behind. 2 points the difference. All the twos. 22 to play.
North just need to lock it in here if they can. That cumulative pressure just gives themselves a chance.
Birchall to himself, runs outside the square, the veteran. Drives it long towards left half back. Segler got fingertips to it. Leading in the race back and doing nicely. Atley, although, hooked it to the wrong man. Now Smith a chance. Kicks deep inside the 50. Rioli juggles the back behind. Mullet argues the point, but just needs to be very wary here as Rioli decides he's going to settle things down. His uncle went to the Hall of Fame during the week. He had quite a highlight reel. There's the shot clock. Rioli has kicked a couple. Short.
And Dennis, Majak Door's been off the ground for the last minute and a bit just to rest him, so he's about to come back into the game too.
Lewis. 65 metres out. Won't get the distance. Sets it up. Had a bit each way to the pocket. They might get a stoppage here. Close. Puopolo comes up, emerges with the football, beats a couple, and passes to Brust. And Brust was a little confused about the time he had. It was smothered by Del Santo, who threw himself belatedly across the boot. And the margin is out to 3.
So Dogs and Cooter Adelaide 3-point wins for Hawthorn this year. So they lead by now. Segler held up. Ball up. Just quickly, that shot clock was in the last 2 minutes of the game. Was that supposed to be in the last 2 minutes?
No, not the last 2 minutes of the game. They've got Brown going deep here. Wells is in all sorts of trouble too. He's really limping. He's gone to full forward.
You reckon North have got one last chance? Lewis has been outstanding. Smith, good tackle, ball up.
And they can't get Majak Door back on the ground. He's been standing there waiting for 35 seconds now to get onto the ground. I mean, this could be critical for them at a stoppage right here for Majak Door.
It's been an incredible night, really, from the first bounce. Well, before the first bounce, Mitchell, who was involved with all of that. Good kick forward in the circumstances. Sicily doesn't get the high tackle this time. Del Santo, Gibson. Oh, Mitchell's tackle was brilliant. They're on the back foot, North. McMillan's gone, I reckon. Gone.
I didn't see it high, okay? I didn't see it high. Yeah, I didn't see it. I did not see it high. If they seen it, they would have come and paid it, but I didn't see it. Didn't look high, Michael.
He certainly played for it.
He did.
Yeah, he did, and I don't think it looked high to the naked eye either. I think McMillan tried to draw the free kick, and then he was caught, and it was definitely holding the ball once he was caught. Sean Ryan, an extremely experienced umpire.
You can't be more honest than that, can you? Didn't see it. You made a very good point. If somebody else did, they would have called it. Here's Puopolo for the game.
Gee, Dennis, think back to the Adelaide Crows and Poppy from a similar spot at the MCG with that controversial free kick late in the match that won the game. So here's the situation.
Talk us through it, Lingy.
Well, it didn't look high unless the hand of Cyril Rioli.
No.
I think he tried to milk that one.
Bad decision, as it turned out, wasn't it?
Dip was happy.
Not by the umpire, but by the player.
By Jamie McMillan, yeah.
Well, Rioli and Puopolo as a dual tacklers are pretty hard to beat, aren't they? And what about Hawthorn tonight? I mean, they had the kitchen sink thrown at them tonight. North Melbourne came out and threw everything at them. Mitchell got flattened in the first couple of minutes. North dominated for so long, but you know what? Right now, Hawthorn into the top 4 for the first time this season. The champs make their big move in 2016.
What a game.
This has been a Fox Footy presentation, part of the Fox Sports Network.